Live. Wait. Okay.
Hello, Moronics. We are live in the air everywhere. We are three morons. My name is Zach.
My name is Jake.
I'm Mr. Google.
So as you can tell, one of the morons has changed. Mr. Google is filling in for Carl tonight. He has other family emergencies to take care of. So we asked Mr. Google to step from behind the cameras in front of the cameras today. And first, we're going to do a little intro to the Google. We're not going to go over his name. He wants to be known as Mr. Google, so we'll respect that. If he wants to give his name, he can. But go ahead, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you've done your whole life, and everything like that.
So I'm originally from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. And when it comes to sports, I'm a Texas Rangers fan, Dallas Cowboys, slogging through that one. I'm a Dallas Mavericks fan, and if I got to talk about hockey, this is a little bit of a difference. I'm a St. Louis Blues fan. So I like the local Texas team, but when it comes down to it, St. Louis was my first hockey game, and so I kind of stick with them a little bit. I'm a 24-year Navy veteran. I was on submarines as an electronics technician for 24 years. Retired about 3 years ago, and now we moved from Dallas, Texas, here to Holstein, Iowa. Because it's a beautiful place. My grandkids are here, and we're tired of the Texas heat.
So you're gonna get your first real test of Midwest cold.
Yeah,
not cold because you've been in New York and Washington, but Midwest cold.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my my butt frozen off this year.
Now I don't know if
you wear your long johns.
I don't know if I've told you this before. But when they say bone chilling, they meant the Midwest. That there is such a thing. It's not a phrase.
Fair enough.
Bones will chill, and as you can see these mornings so far,
the last couple winters have been gentle.
Well, guess who wasn't here the last couple winters?
Not
Texas and North Carolina. So guess what?
Yeah, it was.
I'm back. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
In fact, I think one of the coldest days you've ever experienced was January when we came back for the basketball game for my daughter and your granddaughter.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that was like negative 13, feels like negative
nothing.
50. No, it felt like negative 20.
It was negative 26.
Oh, that's nothing.
No big deal, right?
Yeah, but for him, he's never experienced that.
When you're used to 30 to 90 plus days at 100 degrees, and your winters are it's like 55, you dip into the 30s for a couple days,
or 95 in February.
Oh my God,
this year.
Well, it's 90. It was 95 today in Dallas. We're watching the Texas game, the Longhorns, the Red River rivalry. It's 94 degrees when the game's going on, and it's like
50 here.
Yeah, it's like 55. Well, it was like 70, but still, it's hot. That's hot, and the humidity was low. So what's that? It's a dry heat, right?
No. Yeah, I don't care. Sure 94 is 94 when you're playing football.
Yeah, it's hot.
Just make sure your vehicles actually have coolant, not water in them.
Yeah, and you got to make sure that you're drinking lots of fluids because you'll get dehydrated real quick.
So yes, that was a little bit of an insight on Mr. Google there. Everyone who's ever, or not ever, but whoever's on right now, go ahead and comment with your name, and we'll still interact with you guys as well. We know Mr. Google usually reads the questions, but we can kind of still see the questions as well. So first topic today we want to talk about is the NHL, hockey. My favorite, well, my second favorite sport, but I think it's becoming my favorite sport.
Move your body in just a little bit. Sorry, this is the normal Mr. Google stuff.
So yeah, hockey started. My Rangers won the other day 6-0. I don't think Pittsburgh got the memo that it was the regular season. Igor turned down a contract for $11 million a year, which is great for a great goalie. Actually, that's good money to be the number one goalie. He would have been the highest paid goalie of the year. $11 million, 8 years, $88 million. He said no because he's like, I'm one of the best players, not just the best goalie. So he's trying to set the market for goalies, which is shocking because when you think of like pitchers and making money, you think of these people making money. You think of quarterbacks. You would think goalie would be paid like a quarterback. I mean, right? You would think goalies like, hey, they're the reason you don't lose. They stop the pucks, right? Quarterbacks are usually the reasons you don't lose because they score the touchdowns.
Right.
You don't have a great goalie, you're not going to win. You don't have a great quarterback, you're not going to win. So yeah, set the market. So he played wonderful. I think they had like 36 to 40 shots on goal. I mean, it doesn't help that the Rangers had 60 shots on goal, so it just shows you that the Rangers are better on offense.
Yep.
They're playing right now. Last time I checked, it was 1-1. And yeah, so my team was the Rangers. For us, it's always should be the end. Like last year, we won the President's Trophy, best league in the regular season, or record in the regular season, but couldn't get out of the conference championships. Again, I don't think a winner has won the President's Trophy and then the Stanley Cup since like 93 anyway. Your team's the Blackhawks. How's that going for you?
Currently, we're 0-1-1.
Hey, you got a tie. That means you got a point.
Yeah.
See, remember, in hockey, it doesn't go by record. It goes by points.
Yeah.
So you could tie all your games and get 82 points and still make it.
We lost to a team that doesn't even have a name.
Yeah, but I think they're 2-0.
They are.
They're
They
playing
have
their
been
third
playing
game
pretty
against my
good.
Rangers right now. So I mean,
They
I don't know
have
how
been.
I don't know how you go from Arizona, and since you're not an expansion team, you don't get any extra players to Utah and just go, yeah, now we're going to play hockey.
Yeah, I'm like, and like they had time to like pick a name. They're like, no, we're going with the Utah Hockey Club. I'm like, what the heck? Why?
I did see reports that one of the top names they're looking for is the Utah Yeti.
Yeah,
That would be great. I think
Yeah,
that'd be
it
a
would
great name. That's unique. I don't think no college has it. No pros have it. I mean, there might be a Canadian hockey league that has that, but like for major league, I think it'd be unique and you need to go unique.
I mean, if you went to a state that wanted a hockey team, I think Wisconsin should has a hockey team. That's just my opinion.
Well, Arizona's closer to Utah, so this
Agreed,
makes sense.
But Utah's a bigger
Market.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you got Salt Lake City, that's where they're at, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Wisconsin, I think would be a bigger market sellout. Yes, by all means, yes, but that's for expansion team. That's not for relocating, right? You're relocating from Arizona to Salt Lake City. It makes sense. You don't have to worry about because they're going from Arizona, so you're moving divisions and not conferences, but divisions going from Arizona to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You're not going to move division just going up to Utah.
Right.
That's I think the reason why they had to stay local.
Well, they were in Phoenix before, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phoenix,
Yeah. So you're
Arizona.
talking about a metro of over 1 million people to another metro of over 1 million people. Wisconsin that I know of doesn't have a metro
No,
of
they
over
would
1 million people.
See, I think they would go to Milwaukee, which
we do if you count the cows.
Well, sure, but
well, the
Cal-
state has 1 million people, but not the metro of Milwaukee doesn't have 1 million.
right. And so I think therein lies the rub, right? It's not even it's kind of a small market team. Or it would be like a small market city instead of having just a regular small market.
Right, and that's why I think they'll get an expansion team if they get one. Because here's the thing: they will sell out. They sell out their minor
Yeah.
league teams. Their college hockey, women's college hockey sells out. Hockey does well there, but again, it's during the winter months.
Right. It
What
is.
there much to do in the winter months in Wisconsin, in Iowa, in Minnesota?
Drink and eat cheese and watch hockey.
And,
There you go.
And Wisconsin loves their sports. When the Packers are horrible, they go. When the Bucks are horrible, Chicago comes up and goes. When the Brewers are horrible, people go.
The Vikings had to build a indoor stadium, so
Yeah, the Bears
Well,
are thinking
the
about
Bears
building
are building an indoor stadium. I mean,
and the Lions have one.
it allows you to play, I guess, better football for longer because snow games are just absolutely terrible.
I mean, on that
Unless you're in
point,
Rodgers.
Okay.
on that point, Minnesota had to rebuild their indoor stadium because they built it so crappy that when much snowfall got on the
Oh,
roof,
cool.
it collapsed.
Kind of like Tropicana Field has to rebuild their stadium.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're talking about apocalyptic events, right? I mean,
Exactly.
the amount of snow they got was unbelievable that year. I
Because
mean,
think about all the years prior to that didn't collapse.
Yeah,
Just like
right.
think of all the
But
other
I think-
hurricanes that came in
If
and
I
didn't take
remember
down the.
correctly, reading this article about that old stadium, they were warned that they weren't building that roof properly and they wouldn't hold more. And now that the new roof is more, it actually has heated.
Well, it's
roof
not the new
vents
roof. It's the whole new
and
stadium.
But now when the roof has much so far, they actually have people getting up pushing the snow off. But it also has like I think heated vents up there.
Yeah.
Kind of keeps it heated.
right.
Where snow would melt as soon as contact. So not much snow builds
Right.
up.
They just have to be careful with ice buildup up there. So, but yeah, so for Dallas 1-0 to start the season. Dallas has been pretty successful. They brought in a new GM about 3 years ago, and he has done a very good job with the team. He's taken them to the Stanley Cup 2 out of the last 3 years. They haven't won, but I mean, it definitely shows that they're drafting and bringing players in the right direction.
Now, were they in the conference finals last year? Or?
Yes,
So just like the Rangers, they got knocked out in the conference
Correct.
finals. Because I do remember talking to a friend out in Dallas when after we left. I think the playoffs was after I left.
right.
And I talked about how great it would be if it was Texas and if it was Dallas and New York. I'll actually come down to a Dallas game because it's a lot closer than New York. It could be
Right.
a lot cheaper to stay,
Mm-hmm.
a lot closer.
Yeah.
Cheaper gas, everything. Even the game's gonna be cheaper.
Right.
So yeah, I think Dallas is a great team. I think Chicago has a great future.
I was going to speak on that. Like, yes, we have Connor Bedard, and we just drafted defensive men, third overall, and we have the young pieces. We just need a coach and build pieces around them, and we can probably do decent with them.
See, what's going to be your guys' key to the future is you get veteran leaders in free agency.
Yep.
You got to get the veteran guys in there. I mean, Connor Bedard next year this will be his second year, so he'll be on his third year, but you're still going to need someone who has veteran, get some playoff savvy people to know how to get there.
Right.
Connor's a great talent.
Yes, he is.
Generational. I mean, he's done what they call the glove of Michigan or whatever, where he swooped the whole puck around the net and swung it in. Even Gretzky has a hard time doing that, and Gretzky says how great that is. He's talking about how great this kid is. He's once in a generation talent.
I've seen some of his highlights, and I'm like, that dude can move a puck.
But just think how great players do. Connor McDavid, great player. Look how long it took him to finally get in, and they almost got swept. And then they came back out of nowhere. They're like, hey, let's play hockey all of a sudden, and took it all the way to game 7. But look how long it took him to get to a final.
Right. It's just like, I just watched some of his highlights. It's just his fluent movement with the puck and on the ice is just unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't teach that.
And I've only been following hockey for like 4 or 5 years, and like I said, it's quickly becoming number one. So I know a little bit more about hockey now almost than football. And you can't teach what Connor Bedard has.
No, you can't.
You can teach skills, you can teach stuff, but you can't teach raw talent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, let's move on to the MLB playoffs. Heating up over here because that one team's left out of all of our teams. The Yankees are taking on the Cleveland Guardians.
Yes.
Now, in the AL, it's 1 versus 2. Cleveland's number 2. Yankees were number 1. In the NL, though, you have the Dodgers, and then you had the last team in, the Mets. Now, my thing is, the Mets beat my Brewers, and I'm always going to be salty. Way to go, freaking Pete Alonso, and I hope Devin Williams doesn't pitch another pitch for Milwaukee Brewers. But the last, I think it's 8 to 10 teams that have eliminated the Brewers have made the World Series. Not win, but made.
Yeah.
Which I think you could see a New York
Subway
World
Series.
Subway Series in the World Series.
That would be fun. I think
I am
That
cheering
would
for
be
that
awesome.
now. Do we
I
have
like the Dodgers. I want Shohei
Yeah.
to win because Shohei's amazing talent and deserves to win.
Yeah, but the only weakness that's stopping the Dodgers is the injuries to their pitching.
What? Right, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I want the Mets to win, right? I think the Dodgers are a way better team, and I think Shohei can out-hit anybody on the Mets. But I think the Mets got hot at the right time. I think the Mets finally are putting it together because they have the talent. You got Francisco Lindor, you got Nimmo, you got Alonso. You have hitters.
Yes.
And I think the Yankees are in prime to win 5, maybe 6 in 6 games against the Guardians. The Yankees are just a better team.
Yep. I mean, the Guardians do have few hitters. They had a couple pitchers. I think we finally found our one reliever, Cutter Falter. Luke Weaver kind of stepped in and stepped up when he needed to, and he's been pretty good, solid at relieving. So I think that's where we found as a good reliever.
Right. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Maybe the Mets Dodgers goes game 7, maybe, but I don't see Yankees Cleveland going game 7 unless Cleveland just comes out and rocks the Yankees in first game, maybe 2. But I think it's going to be the Yankees Mets. I'm full-fledged. I want a New York. It'd be like a Dodgers Angels if the Angels could even make the playoffs.
I mean,
you want that. I mean,
yes.
The city wants that. Don't give the money it's going to bring in.
Yeah.
Because it's not leaving New York. It's just going from the Bronx to Queens. Citi Field to Yankee Stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
And last time we had a Subway Series was in 2000, and the
So
Yankees
the World Series, right?
last time we had a World Series, the Subway World Series was in 2000.
Yankees
won it in 7 games. Derek Jeter was the MVP.
And
Yes,
that
he was.
and just think about that, right? That's 24 years.
Yep.
I mean, I'm glad I don't live in New York anymore and you have to deal with traffic around there because that traffic is going to be god awful. Because anywhere you go, there's just everything's going to be packed because bars, everything, downtown, right?
Yeah.
No matter where you go, not just to the stadium, you're going to have Mets and Yankees fan everywhere because
Right.
that's what it is on Long Island. That's what it is in New York. You're Mets or you're Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I read this article about the thing is that Yankees are a closing team. Like it gets you in the long. They can hit you right away and get runs in the early innings, then close you out in the ending innings. And the reason, and they said that the only way that the Guardians can win and maybe pull out an upset is they can get you in the middle innings.
Right. Now, we're going to go predictions here since there's 4 teams left. This is final predictions. Who do you got winning it all? Yankees got it.
Yeah,
I know. I don't even know why I ask you. You're not taking against your team.
I've got to agree.
Ew.
I agree. I think the Yankees are the best team out there right now. I got you with the Dodgers, but I don't think that they're healthy enough to be able to push through the Yankees if they were to play them. I agree. I think a Subway Series will be amazing, and I think the Yankees will take it in 6 games, and Mike Judge will be Mike Judge. No, Aaron Judge. Thank you. Not the actor, screenwriter, but the Aaron Judge.
Not the guy who created Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, not the guy that created Beavis and Butthead and Office Space.
Yeah, I believe it. If I remember correctly, Aaron Judge is the tallest person in baseball.
6'7". See the current what's his name? Randy Johnson size player.
6'7".
6'7".
Yeah.
Randy Johnson size. So I think I think that's my prediction for the World Series.
I think it's gonna be Mets and the Yankees. And we all know how I feel about the Mets. So go Yankees.
Yeah.
I'm not cheering for the Mets after that poor performance by the Brewers because the Mets weren't the best team that night.
And the Yankees do.
They were just the best team that inning.
And when did the Yankees
all it
make
takes.
the World Series? It will be the first time they made the World Series in 15 years.
Who, the Yanks?
Yeah, they haven't made a World Series since 2009. That was the last time they made it and won it.
Really?
But
Yeah.
I want to bring it back to what I said, what we talked about. Analytics versus gut feeling. That was an analytic call to put Devin Williams because you pulled Francisco. What's his name?
Everyone's like, "Oh, you gotta go with analytics." I'm like,
Rodriguez or Rogers or I can't remember his full name. I can't remember his name. F-Rod or whatever they call him for the Brewers. He's a starter.
right?"
Freddie Peralta. My bad. I don't know why I said Fred. That was a closer years
Whatever.
ago. But Freddie Peralta is a starter. He got pulled because we're putting our other starter in because it's game 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
That's an analytic move.
Right.
Dude shut down 3 people. You go back to him. He's a starter. He can give you 3 more innings and still not compromise because you have another day or 2 off
Right.
and still not compromise the rotation enough to where you can't put him in game 2 or game 3 to pitch instead of game 1.
Right.
You go with the high hand. You pulled him in, and then all of a sudden, boom. Just kept going.
See, this is my opinion.
Gave up 4 runs when you're up 2-0.
Yeah.
See, this is my opinion on analytics. Is that analytics won't win baseball games?
They'll win baseball games. They won't win.
Tell that to the A's.
They won't. They don't win championships that
No.
much. Yes, they did back then with Moneyball and stuff. Analytics, but that's when it got to start. But you got to go with your gut feeling more than analytics, right?
Yes.
You go with this is what my gut. Baseball, football,
Experience,
anything like that.
and gut
Sure,
feelings
go
will
with the
win
analytics.
championship.
Analytics will win a lot of games, right?
Yes.
And yes, but if your gut feeling is like, hey, you know what? I think I should keep this guy in, then you go with the gut feeling.
Yeah.
If you go strictly analytics, you deserve to be fired.
Yeah.
If you're like, I'm never going to go with my gut feeling, only analytics, then you got to get fired.
I'm a traditionalist, right? I like baseball to be an actual battle of players, not a battle of spreadsheets. Also don't like the fact it always makes it feel cheap when a team goes out and buys players, right? And then
The Dodgers, the Yankees.
right, the Dodgers, the
Oh,
Yankees,
especially the Yankees that pass.
Tampa Bay, right? The Diamondbacks,
Yeah,
not
but one
Diamondbacks,
play,
Tampa
that was
Bay,
one
what you call
Rays,
it?
the
The
Rays.
Rays, right? Tampa Bay Rays did it. back about 10 years ago, right? They bought a team, they won the World Series, and then everybody left because they couldn't pay them again. And
or the Houston Astros when they buy. Oh wait, never mind. They just cheated.
oh, stop it! God,
Get
you're so.
trash cans out.
Let it go. Let it go. Else had said it well. Let it go. I know you like the snow. Anyway, so yeah, I don't like that, right? And I don't like analytics in basketball. I think it takes all the fun out of the game. Watching guys shoot threes all day long, and then if they don't shoot the three, it's only high percentage dunk shots, right? Threes and dunks, and it's no fun, right? Nobody's down there rebounding. Nobody's down there banging in the
paint.
trenches, right? I that's the game I love, right? I love a good defensive basketball game. 89 to
As well.
God damn it! What the hell just happened? Okay, we're good now. It looks like pick back up. All right, we're back.
So yeah, you did the 80s, 90s. I did mostly 90s. So I was born in
Yeah, we're
89.
back.
You did. So we grew up in the same era where if you got to 100, you were just really good on
Right.
defense and you had a great offense.
Yeah, I remember.
Now you get under 100, you're the worst team ever because
Yeah.
you can't score.
Yeah, I remember 100-point games being like the
Rare.
exception and not the rule, right? Guys were scoring, 85 to 90 points a game. Really, the first team I saw that really scored 100 points plus on multiple nights was the Phoenix Suns back with Charles Barkley and his guys. I think that was back in the mid 90s, probably 95, 96.
Yeah.
Right. And they were like, oh, these guys are going to win the championship. They average over 100 points a game. And I think they were the first team to average over 100 points a game. And it's like, all right, cool, man. Look at this team. They're
Did
just
they even
scoring
make
everything.
it to the finals?
No.
I'll say they don't think they even made
No.
it to
They
face
lost.
Jordan in the Bulls.
No. I think they lost to LA, if I remember correctly.
And
They
then
lost to
LA lost to
LA,
the
and then
Bulls.
LA lost to the Bulls. I think, if I remember correctly.
93,
It's been
yeah,
a while.
93,
Somewhere in
90,
that time frame.
it would have been Jordan because I
Was
think
it
he won
really
92, 93, 94,
Right.
off 95, won 96, 97,
Did
98.
you say you weren't alive, Jake?
No.
Jake, when were you born again? 24 or 04?
2020, 2003.
2003.
You were born
that's
in
right.
03?
Yes.
So
Oh,
he
no,
he
baby.
was he's the
Man.
generation that goes LeBron,
Yeah.
but he
Do I
doesn't like
think he-
LeBron.
This is my
I didn't
opinion.
say-
I don't like LeBron.
LeBron is not the GOAT.
No,
I'm sorry.
I don't think he's that good. I
No,
think he
because
just got
LeBron-
records.
Every championship LeBron has ever played in has gone to 7 games. Every one of them. How many did Jordan take 7 games? Zero. Right? He either swept them or they lost or they won in
How
5.
many of his championship were on super teams?
But I think pretty much all of them but
Well,
one.
Well, technically, I'm gonna stop you there because I will say Jordan had a super team, but you know who made Jordan's super team super? Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan made Pippen good. Pippen made Jordan, but what it is they made each other a great team because they played like a team. LeBron plays selfish.
Yeah. LeBron is all about LeBron. LeBron
Yes.
has to score 40 points. LeBron has to it's all about making himself look good. It's not about the team, right? Now, don't get me wrong, Jordan was an ass. Jordan would you've heard the story about where he punched was it BJ?
Yeah.
No, or was it Brian Kerr? He punched one of them
Yeah, one of
in
his
practice,
teammates, yeah.
right? Because he didn't think they were practicing hard enough. It's like, bro, that's extreme. But you know what? He's got 6 championships
Kobe would have done the same thing.
in
Only
7
problem is
years.
Kobe's generation, he didn't punch as much as Jordan's generation.
Right.
But Kobe
But
is the same thing.
I agree. Kobe
I
was
see, my thing
just-
is the GOAT comparison is either between Kobe and Jordan,
Well,
not
here-
LeBron and Jordan.
right.
Here's
I
the
agree.
biggest thing, and Jordan didn't really get this as much because there wasn't much teammates in the NBA from different countries. But we all seen the video where Kobe goes, "I'm gonna run through this MFer." It's
Yeah.
all about Paul Gasol, his teammate on the
I
Lakers,
saw that play.
and and they're like, "He's not gonna do it." He just bam ran into him for the screen. He goes, "That's what it takes to win." He's not my teammate today because he's on another country. That's another level.
Right.
You don't see that. Well, you don't see it too much now because now they can declare whatever country they want to declare.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because Embiid played for America, not France. But yeah, they
Klay
played
Thompson-
France in the finals.
Gotcha.
And Klay
France would have won the championship if Embiid was on France, I think.
Klay Thompson played for, I believe, the
Bahamian
Bahamas.
team because he wasn't going to make Team USA, but he has a residency in Bahamas, so he can claim Bahamas.
Yeah.
It's where you have a residency at or your country of origin.
So I think I love the Bulls, right? Bulls are the greatest of all time. But San Antonio gives them a run for their money.
Oh,
With
with
David-
Tim Duncan.
Tim Duncan, David, oh my God, David Robinson, all Tony Parker, all those guys, they were so successful for so long. I think that I can't say that they're better than the Bulls were with Michael Jordan, but I think that
They give a
they're
run for the money.
so close, so close. Because look how they won the West like 14 out of 20 years or some crazy number like that. It's just insane how many championships, how many conference championships they went to. I mean, it's just unbelievable the success they had.
And look at what they've been with the same coach,
Yeah.
Popovich,
Yep.
without those players.
Yep.
They've been nothing without those players.
Right.
The
But I
coach
mean-
and it was the coaching style and the players
I mean,
at the time.
Wembley-
The coaching style now to me is
But-
outdated for
Sure.
the game.
Right.
But-
But at
right.
the same time, right? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, right now with the new player they had, Wembley, he looks pretty good. He looks just like Duncan did back in the day.
Yep.
Only skinnier.
But I think
Only Skinner, yeah.
But see, my problem is that I think that, especially in basketball, the general manager plays a huge part of teams winning, right? Just like with the Dallas Stars now, bringing the right players in. Jerry Jones, you need to listen to this. A good general manager who brings the right players in will make you successful, and that's what that. Right as they started falling off, I believe their old general manager retired. Or either retired or left for somebody else. But when he left, that's when things started kind of going downhill because they weren't bringing in the same caliber of players that they were before.
Right. And not only you bring in the right players, you bring in the right coach, Jerry Jones.
Right.
'Cause
Oh, geez.
you just bring in a yes man doesn't do nothing. You got to bring a coach like
Also
Jimmy
bring in-
Johnson. You fired a right coach.
Yeah.
Also bring
yeah.
in running backs because
What-
you're 31st in rushing.
Oh, bring in running backs. Now
No.
we're attacking Jerry. This ain't attack Jerry Jones. We're just saying
Right.
that's how the Spurs did it. And this
Right.
is how you do it for any sport. You bring in the right players that are going to fit your scheme. You're going
Right.
to bring in the right talent around it.
Right. And that we kind of got off on a tangent there because we were talking about baseball and analytics and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of how we got here. But anyway, me being a traditionalist. So that's did they score again?
Panarin scored again.
Okay.
Sorry, 2-2.
No, you're right. So that's where I believe that a lot of teams fail is they don't bring in a good general manager to manage the players on their team.
Which brings us, I'm gonna stop us right there real quick because we went on a great NBA, which brings us to a quick topic. The WNBA finals have started, by the way. Game 2 is, I think, on today or tomorrow for Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty. So that's your finals in WNBA. And the only reason I wanted to bring this up, and this is a big topic, kind of what we've been talking about.
Right.
Did we really? We knew the playoffs were starting, but did we even know it was either over or that the finals was even on?
I kind of forgot about it.
We
honestly.
forgot about it. My thing is, does it prove a point that if Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese are not playing or a factor, we stopped watching?
So who's in the finals
Minnesota
again?
Lynx
Okay,
and the New York Liberty,
gotcha.
but they're doing game 2. I didn't know it was even the finals.
Yeah, I didn't know they got that far.
Because
Yeah.
as soon as Caitlin Clark stopped playing, people
was
stopped
done.
watching.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. I stopped paying attention.
Facebook stopped posting.
Yep.
I stopped seeing stuff. ESPN clips, anything on Facebook, it stopped posting, which shows to me, and it might be very watched because people who got into it because of Caitlin Clark. But does it prove that if Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are not playing, most of us don't care?
Right. Well, I
Right.
mean,
I do care, but honestly, I kind of forgot.
Exactly. You forgot. You cared, but you forgot. We cared about Caitlin Clark. We cared about Angel Reese because those are names we're hearing as much as we heard LeBron James' name, as much as we heard Kobe Bryant's name, as much as we heard everything. We're like, why are we hearing this name so much? I got to check them out.
Yep.
Whether you're checking out highlights or watching the game to see, can she really play or is the highlights just highlights? You watch, like I go to Shields here in Sioux City, and they have nothing but Caitlin Clark stuff, Indiana Fever. So they keep your name. And when I saw that, I was like, I wonder where the WNBA is. I saw
Yeah.
that yesterday. Today I found out where they're at because, Caitlin Clark's name just popped in my head because there it was. It's a section in Shields.
Yeah.
So again, I think the WNBA's got a lot of growing to do. Can they sustain it? Because if you got a season where they're both injured and don't play, are you going to get the views that you got?
right. I think as long as Caitlin Clark is there for now, I think that they'll be okay. I think in the next that spark will wane over the next 3 to 5 years, and they've got to find some other talent,
College.
right? Some other female colleges, college female basketball players to come in and bring that life. Right? You can't just have 1 or 2 players. You've got to have, 10, 12, 14 of them.
And what they need is the rivalry, right?
Right.
Well, I'm talking how they build it up in the college basketball world for Iowa versus LSU, I think, for the Final Four
Yeah.
versus the previous year's finals is WWE style,
Right.
right? Like DX this and Triple H and Shawn Michaels when they were arriving. You had Stone Cold and The Rock because Angel Reese won. And she's pointing to her ring finger like, I got a ring or whatever, and flaunting it in Caitlin Clark's face. So then you had the rematch and you had the buildup for that. And because you had 2 years of those two teams facing each other, you could use the little highlights in this. Now look at they're going to the WNBA. Is the rivalry going to continue? When knowing the WNBA is like 20 teams,
Right.
it's a little bit more spread out, but
Well,
it gives you the
one
let me
thing,
watch them.
and I'll be honest, right? One thing that concerns me with the WNBA is that they're coming up on contract negotiations, right? And they're going to do it based on 1 year with one good player. And once that spark wanes, if they don't bring in any more players, they're going to start paying their ladies more than they can afford to pay, and then these are go under.
Well, what it is they're not going to pay more than they can afford. The TV is going to pay more. The TV companies are going to pay more for the WNBA to be played,
right?
Like,
and they're not going to get the ad revenue.
The owners, right, of the WNBA, which is the owners of the NBA, they're good businessmen,
right?
So they're going to get more money based off of that. Hey, look at where our viewers are. We got Caitlin Clark, we got Angel Reese,
right?
Give us whatever much money you need. We want, instead of $5 million to play WNBA games, we want you to give us $100 million, whatever the thing is going to be.
Right.
It's going to jump up tremendously so they could still afford their players because they got the money. The problem is these cable companies are going to be out. So the next collective bargaining agreement after them, this next CBA,
they're going to kill them.
They're going to be like, okay, since our ratings dropped, we're going to give you $50,000.
Right.
But we're not going to get you nothing. And now the WNBA folds because now they're not going to make any money.
Right.
And they're just going to close up shop.
Right. And see, that's my problem, right? I think right now, again, I've probably said it in the past that the
Utah scored.
Yeah, Utah scored.
To me, the WNBA is a tax haven for NBA teams. The owners of the NBA teams are most of them are owned by NBA team owners, and they're using it as a tax sink. So it doesn't matter if the WNBA makes money or not, because they're using it to hide their to create losses for their business so that they can not pay as much taxes.
All right. Do we have any viewers? Anyone?
We have 2 viewers.
2 viewers.
Yep.
All right. I think I know one. So if the other viewer wants to chime in on anything, please let us know.
I was going to say, you can see one viewer right now.
Yeah.
All right. So right now, let's. I want to do the big board real quick.
Be good in
Big
syndication.
board.
Huh?
We'll be good in syndication.
So the big board is this week we decided to do college football rivalries. The ones we think are the best.
Yep.
Right. We threw out hundreds just a little bit ago after just thinking for 5 minutes.
Okay. What are your top 3?
So we're gonna go top 3. My top 3 are, I'm gonna go with Navy Army. We all kind of figure I'm in the Navy Army. I think another big rivalry that a lot of people sleep on because it's mostly basketball. Louisville, Kentucky. Big rivalry still in college football. They hate each other. They battle for a trophy. It's one of those. It doesn't matter what the record is. Kentucky could beat Louisville. And Louisville's like undefeated. And then another big one I'm going to throw out there is Alabama, Georgia. I think Alabama, Georgia is a great one. Usually it's always the SEC titles on the line. Sometimes you have national championships on the line. I think those are, to me, one of the 3 top best. I know there's other ones, but I know some of you guys already claimed them, so I'm going to leave them for you guys. But another close one that came for me because I lived there for a year and near Seattle Washington and Washington State was a good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty big one.
Yep.
If you're up in that area, it's huge.
Yep.
And then another big one that also, because I live in the area that you guys aren't thinking of, is HBCU rivalry. And that's NC-A&T versus NC Central. Greensboro to Durham, about an hour.
Well, he doesn't know how to count to 3.
I
Anyway,
gave 3, and then I gave 2 honorable mentions. Thank you very much. Especially ones that people don't know.
He has 2 brain cells, barely count.
I can count more than that.
so all right. So for me, right, number 1 obviously is the Red River rivalry because I'm a Texas fan. Texas, Oklahoma. There's no better game out there.
And I think that's the second greatest rivalry of college football.
Oh, I think so. Oh God, we're about to get screwed. The second one is Florida, Georgia, in my opinion. It's the world's greatest. Sorry, I just threw, the cat's gonna try and chew on our cable, so I didn't want to screw that up. But it's the number 1. It's the world's biggest tailgating party, and it is always a good game.
Bills game?
Bills?
I said Bills game's a good tailgate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill's Mafia jumping through tables.
Hey, that's an awesome game.
I saw a video with them. They had a new baby, and they christened her, and they put her through a table, like just like dropped a little bit, like
Yes.
and everything. It was the funniest thing in the world.
Good
But
Lord.
continue.
All right, and then my third one is college basketball. Is Duke, North Carolina. Always a huge rivalry, that game.
Oh yeah, we did say college sports. We didn't really. He said
No.
you said football though.
Did I say football? Oh, crap.
I thought you said sports in there, but then I'm like, I think you said.
All right. Well, if I go with my third football, is going to be another Florida one, Florida, Tennessee. So
huge.
Yeah, that's a huge
What
one.
was there 3? You said
So Texas, Oklahoma, Florida, Georgia, and then Florida, Tennessee.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I'll be right back while you tell yours.
All right, my first one is
Before you
local.
say anything, I just want to shout out. Someone wanted to shout out. So shout out to Kaylee. Continue.
Okay, Wish versus Hugh Hefner.
How you doing? Wait, Joey. How you doing? There you go.
Okay, can I continue? So you're not shouting out random girl's name or guy's name? God,
Don't say guy.
I don't know
Anyway,
how you
go ahead.
swing. Okay, so my first was a local around there because everyone likes it. It's the Cy-Hawk Trophy. It's Iowa State versus Iowa. It's always a big game. Everyone, they always play each other tough. One team could be 0-5. One team could be 5-0. They always play each other tough. It's just how it is. It's always how it's been. Second one, it's always good, and I liked it. It's Auburn, Alabama.
It's a good one.
Auburn could be 0-5, but they can play Alabama tough and take them to 4 quarters.
Yes.
Another one I like is it's Tennessee, Alabama.
Okay. So I'm gonna throw one out there because people have not mentioned this one yet, and how we went through 3 people, and I saved this for you guys.
What?
My boy Carl over here would be mad as hell if we didn't
Michigan,
say-
Ohio State.
If we didn't say number 1 greatest rivalry is Michigan, Ohio State.
I
That's
forgot
because
about
it's
that.
not the number 1 greatest rivalry.
For football, I think it is, and here's why.
What do you think it is?
Texas, Oklahoma, get out
Okay.
of here, man.
Okay, well, do you go to ATMs in Ohio and cross out the M because they do it in Ohio?
Nope.
So you go to ATs.
They say the school up north and the school down south. They don't even say the names. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Although Baker,
Also, I
did,
forgot
although
another
Baker
one.
did live in Texas and like right down the stadium from Houston, and he said, "I hate those guys. They didn't want me. They didn't recruit me. That's why I left Texas Tech and went to Oklahoma. Screw those guys." That's how bad the rivalry is. You got a guy who lived down the road wanted to play with them, but they didn't recruit him.
Another
so now he
honorable
hates them
mention
because-
is Florida State.
That's a good one. Or Florida State, Miami.
Yeah, Florida State's kind of, it's not been that good lately.
No, but if you want to talk greatest rivalry of college, I think we all got to agree it's Duke, North Carolina for basketball.
Oh yeah,
That's the great. I mean, when you're setting ticket prices
That
at
is, yeah.
$1,000 for a college basketball game, and that's
Yeah,
before the athletes
dang.
got paid, then
Yep.
yes. We got a comment?
Yes, Carl says rivalries just got home. Yes, Carl, we're talking about the
College
the
football
greatest college
rivalries.
football rivalries out
And I
there.
had to mention one for you, man, because I can't believe they didn't do it. I left it for
I
him. I
forgot.
served it up to a platter for Jake, who doesn't talk over here.
Hey, I'm talking now. This
Yeah.
is the most episode.
I'm not a
This is the one episode I'm actually talking the most.
right because you feel like you got to cover.
I feel
Anyway,
like we're missing a lot in
no,
the
I'm
second
kidding.
period. It's 4-3. When we stopped watching, it was 1-1 for Rangers, Utah.
well,
Right?
Anyway, so but yeah, I think that those are huge rivalries in the college football world. There's probably others out west which we don't know about, right? You guys kind of grew up in the northeast.
UCLA and USC is
Northwest.
another one.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
Midwest, excuse me. I grew up
for
in
Midwest.
Texas.
Another big one for me was Wisconsin
In Minnesota.
and Minnesota. Battle of the Axe, slab of bacon.
Yeah.
Wisconsin,
All by
Nebraska when they moved to
Mhm.
because Nebraska's big red. Yeah, how's that record
Well-
against Wisconsin since you've done the Big Ten?
Right. And another thing, right? We have to take into account our local teams here, right? Iowa State.
That's what he said for
Right.
his was number
Cyhawk.
one.
Oh, Cyhawk. I didn't. Okay. I was.
I said that
Well,
was
yeah,
one
he
number
was,
one.
He
I
was busy
was-
getting the cat.
I was dealing with a road cat at the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, college football rivalries are big wherever you go.
Yeah.
Depending on local, like for
Yeah.
me, Navy Army, right?
Right.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Absolutely.
And a shout out to Kaylee's son who's in the Army. But anyway,
Yeah.
go Navy, beat Army, right? I got a lot of friends that are also Army.
Yep. Huh?
But
What?
when I was on the boat, or my bad, when I was on the ship,
Thank you.
we say boat, but the aircraft carriers and everything I've been on when it was Army, Navy, everyone just stood in the galley. Everyone watched the game.
Yep.
That's all that mattered. And it was the biggest rivalry. I mean, it's one of the biggest rivalries when you have no other college football game on but Army, Navy.
Yep.
They go to an NFL field and sell out.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia now. I think it's always held in Philadelphia. They've
I don't
changed a lot,
remember.
but now I
Yeah.
think it's permanently the last couple of years been in
It's
Philadelphia.
been in Philly. Because I remember in 2021 we shot a one of the little promo trailers on my boat underway.
See,
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
cool
cool. That's pretty
stuff,
cool.
right? So yeah, the commanding officer and a bunch of us chiefs and some officers, we all got together and we shot a promo in different places throughout the boat that was unclassified, and it was pretty cool doing that. And then seeing the trailer put together, it was. Let's just say their production value was way better than ours underway on a ballistic missile submarine. So
they also have way more money than us.
yeah,
And wait, it was probably around October they filmed it.
I don't remember.
Right before October, before
No,
the budget
we-
changes over.
Yeah, no, we had to get it out.
Oh, we
yeah.
had to use the budget now.
Yeah, that
we
was
lose
in
it.
September. Yeah. Use that, get that production value in.
But no, I mean we've been to the Navy field.
Mhm.
Beautiful field, beautiful campus. I
Yep.
haven't been to West Point, but I'm pretty sure beautiful campus.
It's gorgeous.
But it's more, I think, for the Army Navy for the rivalry than just it's never hatred, right? Like yeah, it's like oh, we'll be
No, it's about pride,
it's
right?
pride, right?
More
We're the
pride than
best.
anything.
We're the best service in the branch of the military.
Yep.
Between us, Army, Air Force, don't care what you say. Marines, is the branch of the Navy.
Yeah, and I got to give a
Um,
shout out to Navy's current coach because that dude looks just like freaking Popeye. I mean, if I had to pull a sailor out of the 1850s, that's exactly what I would see.
Hey, look, I'm
The
all
dude's
for.
awesome.
I'm also all for Horvat being
Yeah,
a Heisman 2024.
yeah, that would be amazing. But
He's definitely got the best QBR or whatever in the nation. Like
yeah.
he's one of the best. The problem is he's Navy. He's got to go out and beat Notre Dame, and then we'll start talking.
right,
This dude?
right. Yes, that dude. Look at him from the side, man.
Yes.
You look at his profile. If you look at his profile, him from the profile, he just looks like what you would think an old grizzled sailor would look like.
He needs to eat his spinach.
He doesn't eat his spinach.
Maybe less of it.
Ah.
So, but anyway, yeah. So right now I want to take the time and I want to do a promo, of course, for B&L Creative Designs. If anyone wants to know, Mr. Google is the B. So B&L Creative Designs for all your woodworking needs. They do cutting boards. They do planter boxes. They do planter box is kind of obsolete in the Midwest here,
Right.
now.
So we build cutting boards. That's a big thing we build. We also build a lot of small stuff. We build like wine caddies. We build beer bottle openers. If you want a special or a specific team or logo on it, we can do that. We also build we do build birdhouses, build planter boxes. We build Elle builds like she does jewelry. So all of our you've seen all the prayer bracelets we've been wearing. the guys wear. She builds those. She makes earrings, especially nice dangly ones. Also do other bracelets, all kinds of fun jewelry like that. So just give us a shout.
Rosemary bracelets.
Rosemary bracelets, yep, and
Or if
rosaries.
if you want actual rosaries, I know
Yep,
we
can do rosaries as well. So give us a shout. Our Etsy page is BL Creative Design Shop, and our we have a Facebook, which is BNL Creative Designs, and an Instagram, which is also BNL Creative Designs. Give us a shout. Let us know if there's anything you want. Look at our website, BNL Creative Designs .com. It's B and then spelled out and BANDL Creative Designs.com. And give us a call, give us a shout. We can make a lot of things. So just let us know.
Now, if they email you guys or shout you out or anything like that, they say 3 Morons Pod. Do they get a discount or anything?
We can probably throw about 10% on a 3 Morons podcast promo. Yep, absolutely.
All right, so 3 Morons Pod, just like it's spelled here. I think we have another comment from Carl.
Carl says, Bill with the promo. Love it.
Yeah, why
Thank
not?
you, Carl.
Why not have the B of the B and L cut the own promo? Why
yeah,
would I?
because
do
you can
it?
actually say the Etsy thing without stuttering or getting it
It's
wrong.
hard because it goes B and L Creative Designs and then it's BL.
There was
Creative
only
Design.
one time that you got it right. The
I
entire
get it on my promo all the time. Thank you very much.
All right, so next we're going to talk about the NCAA.
Yeah, let's talk about college football. It's ramping up. We kind of know what these teams are. First off, I just want to say, Pat McAfee, always a treasure.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Great treasure today at
Woo.
College Game Day, getting
Yep.
them wild before the sun opens up there at 4 a.m. o'clock in Eugene, Oregon.
Yep.
Let's talk about the
Hey,
Ducks mascot for a second.
he's
Him-
the second most important person behind Donald Trump right now.
Yes, we need to protect him with all costs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he's number one to me, but that's just me. Yes, the Oregon mascot. First of all, did you see that he showed up on the Pat McAfee show riding a four-wheeler or whatever through the dang set and everything?
Did he really?
In Eugene, Oregon.
The
'Cause
Oregon
he had
Ducks?
Eugene,
Oh, that
Oregon.
dude's a
also, he was all of a sudden he reveals he giving a kid a haircut behind Nick Saban live on the air.
Nice.
and
Nice.
Pat McAfee today got on, was singing hey and all that stuff, and he goes, they got some beautiful trees and they're smoking beautiful trees or whatever. I mean, this dude can say whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was in Oregon and Ohio State. I think they're playing now. Actually, I think they were the later.
Yeah, last
game.
time I checked, the score is 14-6 Ohio State.
Okay, so that should be a good one. But the biggest game of the day was the Red River rivalry.
Actually, now it's 15-14 Oregon.
Okay, so look at that. They're coming back. I don't think any of us actually picked that game. That fell through the crack, which, by the way, for next week, Mr. Google has said that he might change up how we do picks. So we're going to listen to that. He might plug it on here how we're going to do it, which is fine because the way we're doing it is we're trying to think what's the other one not going to pick because we want to be different. But at the same
Right.
time, we let you say there's no games to pick. But yet this one got through the cracks.
Right.
It's one of the biggest ones. So I suggested
Right.
that one of our college games be wherever game day's at,
Yeah.
because then you don't miss the biggest game of the week. That means they're supposed to be good matchups.
Uh-huh.
I'm so glad they didn't go to Texas and
Kaylee-
Oklahoma because that was not.
Yeah. Kaylee says go Army. I'm a little late. It's all right.
Yeah.
Boo.
Boo.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Go
Anyway,
Navy, beat
hey,
Army.
for those of y'all
Go
who are
Air
going
Force.
to
December 14th.
Air Force, get out of here.
Navy
on
already
now.
beat them. They're out.
So, Army does look tough this year, though.
They do.
But,
they dominated UAB. They
Oh,
look
wow.
great.
Yeah, they
Everyone's
did.
dominating UAB. Trent
Well,
Dilfer's
I think
driving that
Navy
team
dominated
around.
UAB the same
Yeah.
score, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So if I can just real quick in the comments, guys, if y'all are watching this live, or realistically, for those of y'all who don't watch this live, who watch this over the next couple of weeks, in the comments for the video, please put in if you have any recommendations on ways to do picks for us. Let us know. We would love to hear from you. Love to hear how
Exactly.
you say that so that we can bring that forward into the show. The kind of the way we've been doing it is frustrating for us, right? And then I'm trying to keep where each guy has their own pick, but it's going to get tough, especially as the season goes along. But so that's why I've kind of decided maybe I should throw their picks down for them. But we're trying to figure it out. And any suggestions you guys have that that we could maybe incorporate or figure out a better way to do it would be great. We would appreciate that. Just put it in the comments below. I can't see my hand. There it is. Put it in the comments below while you're watching the video, so that we can have that data and we can go forward with it.
Is that another Carl?
Yeah.
I can't read.
Okay. Carl says he's dealing with a sick kid. He'll be in and out of the pod or in and out of the comments.
No problem, Carl. You just rewatch it.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you're part of the podcast.
Let us know if it's watchable later on.
But next week we will definitely debut a different way we do things. Right,
I'm down for that.
For the college games.
Yeah.
The NFL is great. We do the primetime games or like the
that's why I
we got
like.
London, so
Right.
it's London Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night.
It was just it's frustrating for me because I kept going to him like, "Hey, is this game taken? Is this game taken?" And like,
Yeah.
he kept saying yes, yes. So I'm going down a list of like pretty interesting games. I thought would be pretty games to pick from. Like already taken. I'm like, okay, is this game taken? He's like, oh, that was
And
not
if-
taken.
And the reason, if you guys wanted to understand the reason why we're doing the picks, again, me, Jake, and Carl, whoever has the worst picks of NFL and college after the end of the bowl games, unless we need the playoffs. Like if it's way over, like say Carl's 20 games behind, he might not catch up. But if the loser has to do punishment, we're gonna do a punishment wheel.
Look at that face.
We're gonna do a punishment wheel. The same punishment we're gonna do for fantasy football. Again, me, Carl, Jake, whoever finishes last of the three. So if we finish first, second, third, whoever finished third would have to do the punishment. We'll do a punishment wheel for that as well. Well, it got down to where we're doing picks, but we're all doing the same picks.
Yeah.
So literally, say I'm in last place and Jake's in second place. Jake could just piggyback off my picks if he wanted to, because there's no rule against it.
Right.
But he could prices right me. All right. He can just literally pick the same picks and I will finish last. So we don't want to do that. But the NFL, we think that instead of having so many different games to keep track of, 4 games of the same or 3 the same, and then 3 different college games.
Yeah, I think that's solid. Yeah.
But then you're keeping track of 6 different games throughout the week and this, and all we have is my iPhone putting it down.
Honestly, I don't keep
Notepad.
track of the games. Honestly,
Well, technically, it's me. I got the picks thing, and then Carl also
once
has.
I pick them, I'm like, okay, this is what the team I pick.
All right.
Have at it.
Cool. Enough sausage making, guys.
But
All
anyway,
right.
yeah, Texas and
Texas OU, dude, that was a game right there.
it
Oh,
started
my.
off great.
It
It
started
started
off-
off great,
It started off like nobody knew how to play football there for a little
but
bit.
it played like normal Red River, like
Yeah.
a rivalry game,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, Texas
Texas ran away
here's
with
hold
it.
my beer,
Yeah.
and they scored 34 straight unanswered points.
Yeah, Ewing, I think his name was the quarterback for
Quinn
Texas.
Ewers.
Yeah,
Ewers.
Ewers. He just needed a play to get some confidence
And
because
get back because he was out for a couple.
Right, he was out
weeks.
for a couple weeks. He just needed to get that confidence, and once he did, oh my God, he just went off.
I mean, I seen Texas guys jump and flip when they didn't have to. I even told you that
Yeah,
was
right at the
stupid
beginning,
because
yeah.
like he was gonna get hit but pushed out of bounds, so there's no risk of injury. You jump in the air and you hurt your leg or something. Now
Yeah.
you're out. Now there's a target gone.
Right. And,
But I think one of the best games so far today was South Carolina, Alabama.
oh yeah, that was a great
definitely.
game.
South Carolina, I mean, had 2 chances to win
Yeah.
within a minute.
You
Yeah.
see that touchdown catch at the last end of the game for South Carolina?
Mm.
Yes, but then did you see South Carolina didn't get it, but they got a fumble and
Yep.
still had a chance to win it again
Yep.
when they should have never gotten another chance.
No, it wasn't a fumble. It was onside kick.
Oh yeah, it was the onside kick,
Onside
but the
kick.
dude couldn't secure
Yeah,
it.
they couldn't secure it. Went
So-
through 4 players, and South Carolina still got it. And it's
So
like,
you had
really?
2 chances,
Yeah.
8 downs pretty much.
Yeah, they had more than that really because they
Well, no, they did the onside kick to get
Mhm.
it. Yeah, so yeah. And you just
but yeah,
couldn't do it.
they had a lot of chances to win that one, and Bama had a lot of chances to give it away, and they kept trying. They said, "Hey, South Carolina, here you go. Hey, okay, you didn't take that one. Here's another chance to win. Oh, wait, here, let me give you this chance to win." It's like this is Nick Saban would have never let that happen.
No, this is the Kalen DeBoer, and Grant, it's not his
It's
players,
gotta-
right? It's not his scheme. You're putting your scheme with players that were recruited from Nick Saban's scheme,
Yeah,
so it's going to be different
You're
because
gonna-
he comes from Washington.
but if
You
they're
know it's
that
gonna
good, they
different.
should be able to. I mean, you're talking about an elite
team.
NCAA football team, right? The players that he's still rolling with Nick Saban players or a lot of Nick Saban players. He hasn't done a whole lot of recruiting yet on his own. And it's unbelievable that they can't get his scheme together. And it's just they're what, number 7? They didn't look like a number 7 team today.
Well,
No.
they were number 1 until last week when they lost to Vandy.
Well, true, right? But that would make this game even worse.
Yeah, you lost
know?
to Vandy.
Right.
Even if you should have lost to South Carolina.
Right. Even if you beat Vandy, this game looks worse if you're number one still.
Yeah. So
right.
This I mean, even though you won, this is a game where unless USC did lose in overtime, I don't know what USC's rank was, but Penn State won.
No, they were knocked. They were knocked off. They weren't even ranked.
USC was ranked, I thought.
No, they weren't. They lost to Minnesota. They were knocked off the rankings.
Okay, so USC lost anyway, but Penn State was. I know Penn
They were
State
number
was,
5.
Penn State was 5.
Yeah,
I'll say Penn State was within the top 10.
Yeah,
right.
They were number 5.
So if they were above Alabama, like if they were like 8, 9, they were going to jump Alabama. Alabama might not lose a ranking, but you're not going to gain anything from winning this game because you should have lost.
Yeah, you should.
South Carolina had plenty of opportunities. You look at that when you make these rankings, and you go, Alabama still doesn't look good. They don't look bad, but they don't look good.
No. They're not a team.
I thought
you got to realize you still got to. I think they still got to play Oklahoma,
right?
Who looks pretty good when they get their quarterback back.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense looks great at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took a while, and then you still got to play Texas.
Yep.
And Texas plays Georgia next week.
Yeah, that's going to be a big test.
Now imagine if Texas beats Georgia.
Imagine
they're going to come in.
They're going to.
Well, I'm just saying they're going to come in and they're going to destroy Alabama.
All right, Carl says USC's unranked.
Okay, USC was.
Yeah, Southern
California. They got to play
unranked.
Tennessee.
Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Tennessee looks well, except for Arkansas. But even Arkansas, they looked okay.
Yeah, they look good, and they lost to Tennessee last year.
Tennessee's playing Florida right now. They're down 3-0. But
and I believe they played Tennessee every 2 years. I believe.
Who?
Alabama.
I think so. Yeah.
And the last time they played Tennessee, Hendon Hooker was the quarterback, and they lost.
I don't know.
I got research.
Yeah, I'll have to look at that one. But anyway, it's not a good look for Alabama especially when you're starting to look towards the playoffs, right? Because you're 6 games in now, and you're halfway through the season. Now you're starting to look at playoffs and how the committee's going to look at you to get you into the playoffs.
Yeah, and this is your second loss.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, my bad.
No, but they won this one, but barely.
You got to figure they got played.
Last year they won.
Yeah,
they got to play Tennessee,
mm-hmm.
and they got to play Texas,
mm-hmm.
and they got to play Oklahoma.
Yep.
You have to go in there on those 3 games.
You got to make a statement.
You got to win 2.
Well, and it doesn't matter. You have to make a statement in those games.
But you have to win 2.
Right.
Well,
because if you don't win 2, if you don't win 2, because if you win, say Texas close, right? You're jumping in the rankings.
Sure.
But you lose to Tennessee and Oklahoma. Oklahoma's going to drop because of this. You lose to Tennessee and Oklahoma. You got 3 losses.
Yeah.
You're not going for an SEC championship game because, yes, you just beat Texas, but Texas say that's the only Texas loss.
Yeah.
Texas still going for an SEC championship. And whoever they play in the SEC championship says Tennessee, they got 1 loss. Well, guess what? Those 2 teams are going to go to the playoffs.
Thank you, Carl.
What do you say?
Go Longhorns, Bill.
Hook 'em.
Hook 'em horns.
That was one of my picks this year.
Let's get the right hand up.
But I told you they Alabama loses 2 of those games, they're not going to the playoff.
Right. I really think that Texas has a good chance of winning everything this year.
And the stat was in this game, Texas never lost to Oklahoma as a number 1. Which, by the way, I thought they jinxed them already.
Yeah.
And then they're the only undefeated SEC team.
Mm-hmm.
The only.
Yep.
And
the SEC this year is stacked.
Texas did lose something though. They were one of 3 teams that never gave up a lead this season.
3 teams.
Can you guess the other 2 now?
Ohio State.
Nope.
One of them's Army.
Yeah.
And the other one,
Indiana.
That's right.
Indiana has never.
They've never been behind.
They never trailed.
They never trailed in a football game, and Texas didn't until they went down 3-0 at the beginning of the game.
But then after
they quickly solved that problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, so Indiana and Army are the only ones who had not trailed.
Right.
So yeah, that's just a fun fact.
I mean, you want my honest opinion of Alabama right now? What I initially thought of Kalen DeBoer going to Alabama, I thought they're gonna have their bumps in the road, and I thought they're gonna be decent this year. Now looking back on it, now they don't look like a playoff contending team. They don't.
No, they don't. Absolutely not.
No,
I don't even think they'll make the playoffs this year.
No, not the way they do it. They lost to Vandy.
Yep.
They almost lost to South Carolina.
Yep.
I get it. Vandy's a scrappy team. Vandy is a very good scrappy team.
real quick, I want to do an update on this hockey game.
Go ahead.
It's 5-4 in the
5-4
second
who?
period.
Damn.
Utah. It's 9 goals in 2 periods, and there's still 2 minutes left.
Are you sure the goalies?
It was 1-1 at the end of the first.
Yeah.
My one opinion. Are you sure the goalies are in the nets?
No, I think Shesterkin went to go get a hot dog, and I think Utah's hockey club guy also went to go get a hot dog.
I think they went together holding hands.
I
skipping.
guess.
Pretty sure.
And then the backups went, and they just found random people from the crowd.
Yeah.
Because you're talking, what? You're talking
9
it was
goals.
1-1, but you're talking 1-1. So you're talking
Sure.
7 goals in
Well,
the second period.
What irritates me with that, right, a little bit is that dude wants to be the highest paid hockey player in the
They gave
game.
up 5 goals.
They gave up 5 goals, right? He went 6-0.
Possibly 3.
Oh, a statement game.
Possibly 3 because they sometimes do pull a goal.
Yeah, not this early in the game.
They do sometimes in the second period
Yeah.
if they give up so many goals.
Right.
So like you gave
Yeah,
up
but-
5 goals, you could
sure.
the goalie.
Sure, if you need a player to bring it down, you're down 3 and you got to bring it up. But my thing is this, right? He wants a statement. He had a statement game last game 1,
Oh,
when they
Shesterkin's still in. So never mind.
6-0.
Shesterkin's still in. So
Right. So, but what does that say about you if you're giving up 5
minutes.
now in the second
Now,
game of the
now
season?
I will say Utah has scored 15 goals in the last, you could say, 2.5 games because this
Right.
is their 3rd game. So
Sure.
yeah.
But
So,
it's still it's just one of those things, right?
right.
You can't if you want to be paid like the best hockey player or be the highest paid hockey player, then play like you're the best hockey player out there. There's much better goalies than that.
I do agree with what Igor is doing though,
What?
and he said the last
What, pay me or I'm going to let
Nope.
everything through?
after the last contract he goes no more contract negotiations until the end. Focus time.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to talk about the contracts the whole season. He wants to play because here's what he's doing. He's betting on himself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like let's play this season. We'll talk after the season
Yep.
because right now his focus is on the team.
right.
So
Okay.
I do agree. Hey, at least
Sure.
they don't sit out like NFL players.
Back
Right.
to NCAA
So
football.
my thing is on Alabama is that if they don't look like they can contend for an SEC championship,
or
it's
playoff.
just because they almost lost to South Carolina. South Carolina looks decent this year, but they should have, like Alabama, like in the past, they should have blown them out.
Mm-hmm.
Like same thing with Andy, they should have blown them out.
Oh yeah.
South Carolina has played tough teams this year. Tough.
Yeah,
So
They have.
they're not a pushover. But again,
They're not ranked
they're
either.
not
though.
ranked. And Alabama past would blow them out, or at least
Yeah.
wouldn't be this close.
Yeah.
That Vandy game, Alabama should have won by 30.
yes,
They
There's
were
no
like
lie.
22, 24-point favorites.
Right.
yeah,
So
Nick Saban, I don't think if you look, I think on any of his teams from LSU, Alabama, hell, Michigan State,
lost
don't-
to Vandy.
I don't think you could look at any of his teams where he was a 20-something point favorite and lost.
yeah.
No,
I don't
Yes,
think
Carl. We're still talking about Bama. Bama's a big deal. They've been so good for so long.
Milrose trash. We talked about him being
Right.
Yeah.
This
he's
it's
not
Heisman. He's not Heisman.
No,
Mm-mm.
not in my opinion. When he's pressured, he gets too frantic. He makes mistakes.
I saw a thing on Facebook, and I
He's
said
a
it to you.
glorified
Yeah.
running back,
It
has a
said-
quarterback that could throw a ball decently.
On Facebook, it said it best, right? It said, "Hey Alabama, y'all average."
So what about Ole Miss? How's Ole Miss looking? What do you think about them?
They're
They're playing
still,
right now.
Are they winning?
Let's look and see. Ole Miss, where are you at?
I mean, they're just the favorites of the SEC besides Texas.
Yeah, they're
And
ranked number
Tennessee.
9 overall. Right now they're beating LSU 10-7 in the first. Or I'm sorry, they're at the 2-minute warning for the first half.
You mean a 2-minute timeout?
Negative. I mean the
N-
2-minute
Now,
warning.
question. I looked this up, and Bill knows the answer. Do you know why it's called the 2-minute timeout versus the 2-minute warning? We joked, but do you know why?
I don't know. No.
So
Stupid.
in the NFL,
I probably knew it. Was
what they
stupid.
said was, and what
Yeah.
what this explanation gives does not make sense at all, because it says
Bet not.
it's a timeout because it's not a warning to let them know of the time warning for the officials like it did in the NFL. It was warning them, hey, there's 2 minutes left of the half. Well, isn't that what you're still doing? Because last year there
Yeah.
was no 2-minute
I don't-
timeout or
I don't-
2-minute
I
warning.
just lost more brain cells.
When I
hearing
read that,
it's-
I was like, but
It's
wait
a
a
dumb
minute.
reason, man.
I was like,
It
but
really
aren't
is.
you still warning that there's 2 minutes left? So
Yes.
therefore,
Okay.
you're still telling people.
Yeah.
So this is my honest opinion. So these are my 3 favorites to win the national title in the SEC conference. That's Texas, Tennessee, and Ole Miss.
Why Tennessee?
They lost to Arkansas.
Yes, but Arkansas also is a scrappy team.
Well,
So
is
is Vandy.
Yeah, but Arkansas is actually pretty decent, and Tennessee's the last couple of years have been pretty good. They got in the recruits, they have the coaching, they have the players. They just need a good year.
Right. I know this is going to sound biased. I really do, but I really think Texas is going to take it all. I think they're going to
Yes.
they're going to sweep. They're going to take out they're going to take the SEC. First team that's not named Georgia or Alabama in the last decade, or Clemson. And I think they're going to work their way, and they're going to be a number 1 seed going into the playoffs, and they're going to take it all. I really think that Texas has that team. Barring injury, I think that's what they've got. I think they really will.
I don't think Georgia's going to do it.
It's not going to be Michigan, Carl. I'm sorry.
I don't think it's Georgia because with that Georgia Alabama game showing
Yeah.
us is that if you're tough and you can keep them down, they just kind of
Okay,
I mean,
so-
they almost came back,
So you
but it's just how it was.
want to see how scrappy Vandy was?
Haha.
27-30 double overtime against Missouri, lost. You want to say they're not scrappy? They almost took Missouri and beat them. They had to go to double overtime.
I said they're so scrappy.
Yeah, but you said Arkansas is a good team. Same record, 3-2 and 4-2. So Vandy's still good. They're not
Yeah.
a pushover.
No, they're not, no
But
team.
what we're-
No, but
we weren't
Alabama still
questioning-
should have beat them by 30.
But that's the thing.
Yeah,
We weren't
exactly.
questioning if they're a pushover.
No.
They were still 20-point favorites. They should have won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now my pick to win it all has always been. I said Texas this year. I said Texas. You can play it back. I think Oregon is a good choice, but I don't think Oregon has the weapons. I don't think they're going to come away against Ohio State. They may be winning now, but Big Ten is different. USC is finding out. Big Ten is different.
Yeah.
Washington's finding out. They lost. They let Iowa put up 40. When's Iowa put up 40 on a team?
Yeah, but you got to understand. I don't think
It's
Washington.
called getting a new OC and a decent
Yeah,
quarterback.
but
You got a new
They're
OC
not the
last
same
year in the
team.
middle of the season.
They're not the same team they were last year, right? Their coach's gone. He went to Washington, I think, right? No, he went to Alabama.
Who's coach?
Washington's coach.
Yeah, Kellen
He
Moore.
went to Alabama.
They lost
Right.
Penix. They lost Roma Dunze.
Yep. They lost their. Yep.
They lost everybody.
They did. They basically
Pretty
lost
much.
the team. So
Right.
yeah, moving into the Big Ten is to
But-
say it's different. They don't have the same team
But they also play
that
big
they did well
defense,
with
though.
last
That's
year.
the thing.
What's
They-
that?
They play better defense in the Big Ten.
Right.
Well, okay.
The 40 was just because I was just shocked I was scored 40. I think Texas is going to be in the national championship game. And then I think the other team that's going to be in the national championship game. Carl's going to hate it, but I do think
Ohio
it's gonna be
State?
Ohio State.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm still not convinced that Ohio State's as good as everybody
I don't
seems to
think
think they are. I don't think they're
but
number two.
The problem is you got everyone else beating up on each other.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think that a
And I
lot of
don't-
it is their clout, right? Their clout as a school, right? It's the reason why Alabama's where they are. Alabama should not be
Oh,
number
it's their
7.
clout. That's
It's
their
the clout as a football, as a program. It has nothing to do with how good they are.
So I got a scheduling note for the NFL, so I thought something was going on.
Oh,
I think
Carl said, yes, my Buckeyes.
I do think you could see 2 SEC teams still make it. If you do, I think
I
it'd be
think
Texas
a
Ole
dark
Miss.
horse
Yeah.
that could make a decent splash
Navy?
in the playoffs. Yes.
Not
But
gonna make a
Penn State.
splash.
Penn State.
Penn State, yes.
Penn
They just
State
won good.
have been shocking everyone this year.
But the problem is they have to prove they could beat Ohio State.
I was going to say they're not going to win the Big Ten. I just don't think they've got
they
the.
have to prove they could beat
Right.
Ohio State.
Yeah, they would have to finish out the rest of the Big Ten, sweep them out, and they're just not going to do it. I don't think they've got the team for it.
Let me see. Their next following games are next week. They got again Penn State, Ohio State.
There you go, right there. They have to win that one.
Yep. If they
And
don't
they
beat,
got
and they got to, it's got to be a statement too. They got to
They
beat
gotta-
Ohio
nah,
State
that's-
by
So if Penn State
2
loses, they
touchdowns.
still have to win out because there's no divisions.
they
right.
got
They got to
Washington.
win out
Mm-hmm.
and then play Ohio State again in the Big Ten to just get into the playoffs.
Right.
Because if you lose to Ohio State twice, you're not going to get into the playoffs.
Right, but they're playing Ohio State at home too, so
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
They got
That'll be helpful
Washington,
at home
Then Purdue and
in Purdue.
Purdue's dog water this year.
Hey, first of all, they were great until they played Wisconsin, so it wasn't Rutgers.
Then Minnesota, then Maryland.
Texas, Iowa State. You think so, Carl?
You know what? Iowa State, it could be a dark horse. I was trying to think of a
Yeah,
Big
I
12
was gonna
team.
see another.
I was trying to think of
Iowa
a Big
is a
12.
dark horse.
But the problem
Iowa
is
State.
they have to win out. But then when you win out, you have to go in the playoffs and win out to make the Big Ten
Right.
or to make the national championship.
Yeah.
So can they do that? That's the thing. If
How many-
not, they
is
have
it-
to lose early
Is it 8 teams now?
in the Big Ten.
Yeah. No.
Or the
In
Big
the
12?
the national championship series or whatever it's called.
No, there's 12
Playoffs?
teams
The
in the
playoffs.
playoffs.
12 now.
12.
They'll make the playoffs.
Iowa State.
I think Iowa State's gonna make the playoffs.
Okay.
I think they're gonna win the Big 12. But again, you have to for them to prove me that they can win the national championship, they're gonna have to have an undefeated season.
I mean,
Right.
Iowa State, they're currently tied with West Virginia, but after that,
They play today.
yeah, they're
West
currently
Virginia.
tied.
Oh, I thought you meant like ranking wise.
No, they're currently tied. They're 11th right now. And no, they play USC. They got UCF. They got Texas Tech, which don't.
What's tough? Yeah, it's Big 12. Go.
Texas Tech is a good team. They're pretty good this year. So that's going to be a good game. Kansas, another downfall. Everyone thought they're going to be good. Then
But still Big 12, so it's gonna be tough.
Yep. Cincinnati,
Tough. It's Big
Tough.
12.
Utah, tough. It's Big 12.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's Utah
and
too.
Kansas State,
Tough.
tough.
Yeah, so you got to win out.
Yeah.
Do they have a division or did they get rid of
No, the
divisions
only
too?
conference that has divisions in the
So non-power 5.
it's the Sun Belt.
Okay, so they just got rid of all of them. I couldn't remember. I know we talked about it, I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
so
the only one that has
so they could lose
conferences is-
possibly one of those games and still make it. Got it.
Yes.
You got to lose early. If you're Iowa State, you need to lose early.
I mean, right now,
you lose
Wagings-
later,
Well,
it's gonna hurt them.
You're beyond early now. Early's first 3 games of the
No, I'm
season.
talking about like for
I mean,
them,
right-
they got to lose like now or next week,
because I'm
And
looking
and
at
then they can go on that run.
I'm looking at the.
I think
Big
it's too late.
12.
It's too late to lose.
Well, they can lose and still go. The thing is, you can lose and still go to your conference championship because
I get-
it's based off of
I got
win
another
loss
dark.
records
Right.
in your conference.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if they lose, say the week before the conference championship, that might hurt them too far. You lose now, you can still momentum to still win the rest of the way.
Right. So
I got another dark horse that could make somewhat a splash in the playoffs.
Who?
BYU.
They are playing well.
Yeah, they are.
They're undefeated, right?
Yeah,
Because they just they beat the brakes off of Arizona, which we thought Arizona was going to be decent.
yeah, they beat them 41-39.
Right.
41-19.
I was going to say, I thought it was farther than that.
No, it was 41-19. They
so
beat
Carl
Baylor,
says
they
probably Miami or Ohio State. to
So
play
you know
Texas.
how decent Kansas State was this year? How decent Kansas State is this year? They blew them out 38-9.
I like that too. Miami is another good dark horse pick in the ACC.
Yeah.
We think Florida State's going to make it yet?
Fuck no.
Gotta love college football when we thought Florida State was going to be good.
Well, I mean, when you go 0-4 to start the season, that kind of hurts a little bit. It's a little bit, just a little bit.
Not when you go 0-4, but like you lose the Georgia Tech, then you lose the Boston College, and then you had everyone thinking Georgia Tech and Boston College are going to do something, and then they proved that they're Georgia Tech and Boston College.
Right.
Right.
So, but yeah, pretty much college football today. They're like I said, Penn State USC was a great game. When in
Yes.
overtime, we just didn't watch it because we were watching Texas,
Yep.
Oklahoma, and that's how it goes when you got your team playing.
Yeah, that it
And
was
it's a big
interesting.
game,
Right.
It gets number one.
And interesting that all the early
four.
games, yeah, it's interesting that all the early games, right? The only one that was competitive was the Alabama South Carolina game, which is not the game I would have expected
Would
to
be
be
competitive.
right? I would have expected the Wisconsin
Rutgers,
Rutgers. to be more competitive than that. And
Wisconsin blew Rutgers
They-
out.
Yeah,
I like
they
that
sh-
Rutgers. I'm calling
Everyone
you out.
thought Rutgers was.
I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
because they started off 4-0.
Mhm.
Now they're on a 2-game losing streak after losing 14-7 against Nebraska.
Yeah.
Then getting blown out by Wisconsin. So what?
Yeah.
Also, another good, decent one that could see what they're doing. Indiana, the Hoosiers.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be
This-
great.
this year's gonna be
son's
pretty
still
good.
the running back on like the second string running back,
I
or did he
think-
transfer out?
Oh, guess who's the I think the running back on Jacksonville State,
Who?
Rick Steiner's son.
Really?
Not Braun Breaker.
No, not Rick Scott Steiner's son.
Oh, and say not Braun Breaker. So Braun Breaker's cousin.
yeah,
Good Lord.
his name is actually.
How does
Brock.
everything get back to wrestling? That just
Because
drives
they're
me nuts.
everywhere.
Drives me nuts.
But to be honest, Rick Steiner or Scott Steiner was a hell of an athlete for college. I
Yeah.
mean, college wrestling, but
Yeah.
Which, by the way, speaking of wrestling, we saw somebody that we want to bring onto the podcast. I think Jake, not saw somebody, but you saw the poster.
These are
Oh yeah, yeah.
So there's a poster he looked up at Storm Lake. Don't know the dude's name. He went to Storm Lake, and then he went to Iowa State.
Yep.
Was 4 years, 159-0
Yep.
in college wrestling. Now he's the current coach of Penn State College.
Yep.
For wrestling.
He's the head wrestling coach at Penn State.
Oh, and he won a gold medal. He went to Storm Lake.
Yep. He went to Storm Lake, the school in Storm Lake.
Maybe in the offseason.
He also won.
He was on a podcast.
Like Storm Lake High School or the private school in Storm Lake?
No, he went to the high school.
No, he went to high school.
We were at the middle school.
Yeah.
And they had his picture and he Googled them.
Yep.
Okay, because I'm like, there's two different schools. You got the St. Mary's private school or the public school.
This is the public school there that we went to the volleyball game today.
Okay.
What was interesting about that is that, he won he went 159-0 in the late 90s, and then he went to Tokyo and won a gold medal. What is that all about?
That's
dude, 6'2", 225 pounds. Yo, Brock Rickensteiner. If football don't work out, you need to get a tag team with your brother or your cousin, and you guys be the Steiner brothers 2.0.
Yeah,
he looks like young Scott Steiner.
He's a genetic freak like his dad.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
First of all, let's talk about genetics. Yeah, steroids are very genetic. Scott Steiner
actually,
was on
his
steroids.
dad never failed the steroids test.
But back when everyone was doing steroids.
Yeah, but again, right? You're talking about pro wrestlers are the same thing as pro athletes. I mean, they are pro athletes, right? The only difference is they took a different path. So if you notice, most pro athletes are not just good at one sport. Jesus,
he's got
good for him.
Like his
like his dad had.
But the big bad booty daddy. So he's the big bad booty son.
But they're all good at multiple sports, right? They're like football players are not just good at football. Most of them can play basketball pretty well. They're all pretty fast, and so they run track. Maybe. Carl says Illinois looks decent.
They do look decent.
Yeah,
but they're from Illinois, so we're just gonna ignore them.
That's what we all typically do. Yeah.
So that athletes are usually good at multiple sports. They're not just good at football, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong; they're probably not good enough to go pro in those other sports, but they're still good.
I mean, I was decent at football,
at
and
Kyler,
I'm horrible at basketball.
Looked at
and any other
Murray,
sport.
baseball player, football player.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes, baseball player, football player.
Right. Look at what was his name?
Deion?
No. I'm talking about the guy who
Deion actually went pro.
tight end with Kansas City. Caught the most touchdown passes
Gonzalez?
for a tight end. Yes, he was basketball.
Yeah, and I think Gronk played basketball.
Gronk played basketball as well.
One of the greatest tight ends in NFL history, never played a snap of NFL football, college football, but played college basketball.
Who's that?
Antonio Gates.
Really?
Yeah. Antonio Gates played college basketball.
Yeah, so most of these guys are good all around sports, right? They're mostly like solid all around athletes.
Not Draymond Green. Did Draymond Green also play football?
No, LeBron did.
A lot of those guys were like tight ends in football.
Yeah, LeBron was a tight end in high school, and he was a very good tight end.
I think there was a Michigan State player for football though that was a star player on their basketball team.
Yeah,
for Izzo. So I mean, yeah, they play both sports.
Yeah,
but you see it a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns played for Florida State. The Rock played for Miami.
Jimmy Graham was also a good basketball player in college.
Yeah.
And who else? Ron Simmons played for Florida State. You got a lot of players that play for Goldberg was a wrestler as well. Like a lot of wrestlers because of just how the size of the people.
Yeah, look, The Rock played with Miami back when Miami was big. Carl, we discussed Antonio Gates. So anyway, all right, so that's the NCAA for today. I mean, there's a lot more going on, but
NFL.
Real quick before we go, I have to give Army a shout out, right? They are looking pretty solid this year. I know we talked about it, but they are looking pretty solid. They just whooped the crap out of Kent State or somebody like that. UAB, excuse me. They beat them 44-10.
Whooping up on
I'm not gonna.
Dilfer.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna look this up real quick.
That's one of the worst coaching hires ever.
But I'm not gonna lie.
You never know. He may turn out to be okay.
It's not gonna happen.
Okay.
Hey,
the more and more it
never
happens,
know.
the closer and closer it gets. I like to agree with Carl, that you could possibly have Army Navy undefeated, but it's not. Unfortunately, Navy's got to play Notre Dame.
I think Navy has a shot
Navy,
at Notre
Navy
Dame.
has a shot.
I don't think that's a pushover
like
ball game.
2007 has a shot.
Sure.
But it's just harder, right?
Sure.
Army's rest of their schedule. Army also plays Notre Dame.
Hmm.
But they play in Notre Dame.
Right. Navy plays at Ann Arbor.
Navy plays. Let's see here. You mean Annapolis?
Annapolis. Sorry.
Navy and Notre Dame. They play. Navy's the away, the home team.
Michigan.
Oh, there you go.
They play New Jersey. They play at MetLife.
Really?
Navy Notre Dame will play MetLife.
Oh,
wow.
neutral site.
Neutral
game.
site. That's interesting.
Nice.
And it'll be cold too.
Army, Navy, Bronx, New York, Yankee Stadium.
Really?
Navy.
I thought you said Philly. That's
No,
cool though.
I mean, Notre Dame Army.
Oh,
will play
Army
in
Notre
Bronx,
Dame.
Philly.
Okay.
Right.
Man, Notre Dame. Why don't they just move to New York?
So you could. It's not. I don't think both teams are going to be Army or Notre Dame. They play. My bad. They play at Northwest Stadium this year in Landover, Maryland. So they play where the Redskins play. Or my bad, the Commanders play.
Redskins.
That's where Navy Army plays. So it's usually between the two, I guess.
Oh, they want to
Philly,
play them in DC. Gotcha.
DC. That's where they should play. To be honest,
I agree. Well, I don't think so. I think they should play at either one of their field houses, right? I think that they should play every
But
other
they
year.
just sell tickets so much that they can play in the NFL stadium.
Right, but that's the thing, right? Is they put it in DC because they want a lot of those admirals
They played
and
at MetLife 1 year too.
generals and stuff. They want all those high-ranking officers to be able to make it to the game.
Army Navy had played at MetLife
Right, and
before too.
yeah,
I think they go
hold
between
more.
the three of those in Baltimore
Yeah.
because they're all close to DC.
Right.
You could get an undefeated. That would be amazing if you had an undefeated Commander-in-Chief trophy, Army Navy.
That'd be solid, man. That'd
And
be
the
a
winner
solid.
not only gets the Commander-in-Chief, but the winner goes into the playoffs.
Goes to the playoffs. That'd be solid.
Hell, put both teams at that point.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be hard for
Yeah.
both teams to beat Notre Dame. Both.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that both teams have a solid chance. I think Navy has a better chance,
Right.
personally.
They throw it more.
right? Because
Um,
Army's just they just want to run.
Army does the running, and they just got the physical ability to
Right.
do it. And we see Navy do it before. That's
Yeah.
been the Navy playbook since 1952.
Yeah.
The same with Army's playbook since 1952. The thing is that Navy changed coaches and they've changed philosophies.
No, Carl, don't do that to me.
What do you say?
He said, question, Bill. Best running back to come out of Texas. Oh man,
Ricky Williams.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, you're asking. I don't remember names, man. I just watch the games, bro. I'm
Best
sorry.
basketball player coming out of Texas, Kevin Durant.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
The
Sure.
last player to be picked by the Supersonics, I do believe.
Hey, it doesn't matter. He's a player. I just wish
Was he the last player to be picked with Supersonics?
he just
or
doesn't
was
play
that,
well with others. That's his
was
problem.
That
But he's one hell of a 3-point shooter.
the bearded one.
James Harden?
Yeah.
No, Harden was picked by Oklahoma City.
Yeah, he went to Oak
So
City.
was Westbrook.
He was a part of their original go, if I remember correctly.
So it was
Their
the
first
last
draft.
one.
Their
Durant was the
special-
last. I think Durant was the last big name picked out of the Super. But I think
For the
he's only played.
Supersonics?
I only think he played 1 year, and then they moved to Oklahoma City.
Okay.
They're coming back though.
Oh yeah.
Supposedly the Supersonics are coming back because that's what Seattle wants—a team that they ran out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want a team that we ran out. Yeah, we want a team back.
Yeah, they're gonna do it again though, because first off, their tax base will kill the team before anything else. Jake, question: best New York Yankees ever?
Oh God. No,
Yankee
really?
or Yankees team?
Yankees team.
Oh, best Yankees team?
Yeah.
this year.
Or wait, are you talking Yankee like player, Carl,
Or team?
or team?
Because if both are really hard.
I don't think so. I think the best Yankees player ever was probably Roger Maris.
Babe Ruth.
No.
Either Babe Ruth or I say Roger Maris because he broke Babe Ruth's record.
Player, not team. Got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Carl. Yes, best player ever. Again,
Okay, in my opinion, because I always liked him. He's an older player. He's after Babe Ruth. It's Mickey Mantle.
John Cena. What?
Johnson. What? You can't see him. How do you know he's a Yankee?
He's the best one.
My one is older one. It's Mickey Mantle.
Mantle. Okay.
I know he wasn't as great
So-
as Maris or Babe Ruth, but he's just one of my favorites.
So look, I'm about to date myself here, okay? But these shows were in syndication back when I was a kid, right? So I remember being at my grandparents' house in Louisiana, and we were watching black and white TV shows of baseball players. It was the old home run derby or home run whatever it was. You know what I'm talking about?
Right?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
They would have the different players. Like I've seen Roger Maris. I've seen Mickey Mantle.
One of
I've
my-
seen what's his name from Atlanta? Oh God, what's his name?
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Chipper Jones.
No.
Chipper Jones.
Go to the 70s, bro.
Oh, Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron, thank you.
Yes.
Hank Aaron. I've seen who else was in there?
We
I mean,
used to say that
they-
like Hank Aaron.
they took all these, I mean, just week after week, they took all these old school, like hardcore baseball players, and they just would throw them and see how many home runs they could hit. And I mean, these guys are just cranking out just numbers, man. And they're going like forever, like, oh, that one's like 505 feet. And it's like, holy crap, man, these guys are just killing the ball.
One of my all-time favorite baseball movies to watch, because I have it on DVD, is 61.
61. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, good one.
What about Jim Abbott? You know him?
The one-handed pitcher. Yeah.
Jim Abbott is also one of my favorite players as well, because he's also one of the ones that broke boundaries.
I mean, think of it. One-handed pitcher.
Yeah, right. But he started in California. He was
But
Angel
my favorite Yankee.
back when they were in
Right,
Anaheim.
he's newer.
Which they're still
He's
in
not a
Anaheim.
hitter or anything. Well, it's tight. Rivera, the closer, relief
Yeah.
pitcher. Him and Chapman. Lights
Oh,
out.
Carl, that's a rough one, man.
What?
Question, Zach.
So my top two favorite Yankees is got to be Mickey Mantle and Derek Jeter. Growing up watching Derek
Oh,
Jeter.
Jeter, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
That's a tough one. He said, Favre, Star, or Rogers, who will get you? Who you got to win a Super Bowl?
I mean,
Are we talking about today's game? Because today's game, I'm going Rodgers.
Why? Why Rogers over Favre?
Rodgers had less turnovers.
Okay, fair.
He was more careful with the ball. But I mean, Star was a great player, but I mean, you're talking about back in the 60s. You go to today's game, he's not going to translate.
I don't know. The problem with Star is that Star won't be mobile.
No, you're right.
Even in his prime, he wasn't a mobile quarterback.
Right. Again, you're talking about the game then
Right.
versus today.
But
They
again,
didn't pass as much back then, so he doesn't see the schemes as he did.
I think he's smart enough that he would have been able to figure it out.
But he won 2 Super Bowls.
Agreed. I also think that Bart Starr. I don't know if I had to answer this one, Carl. I think it would be Bart Starr because I think that
I gotta go with
because
Brett
I think
Favre.
that they could they would put a good team around him that would be able to allow him to succeed. I think the other guys do it on their own. Like Favre
Favre had a good defense
had a good
to win the
defense.
Super Bowl. Favre had a good offense to where he could just throw the ball up there.
Right.
But Rodgers was smarter with the ball.
Agreed. And I think my problem with Favre and with Rodgers is that they both have to outgun you to win. Bart Starr never had to outgun you. He
True.
would outthink you.
That is true.
That is fair.
But yeah, I think the only reason I choose Rodgers is just because I think he was smarter. But you're right. I think Bart Starr didn't have to outgun anybody.
Mm-mm.
That's also true. But back then, you didn't really outgun many people. Once you threw 200 yards, that was outgunning.
Right. So, Carl, does that answer your question? I hope. Hopefully, we've answered all three of. Well, no, we answered 2 of the 3. I dodged mine like Kamala Harris.
What's yours?
Oh, his was
Mine was the best running back to come out of
Texas.
Texas.
Bijan Robinson.
see another honorable mention.
Again, I dodged
was-
it like Kamala Harris.
Another honorable mention for the favorite Yankee was A-Rod.
Thank you, Carl, for the content. All right, cool. So, what else? NFL style. What else do we got going on for the NFL tomorrow? I guess.
Yeah.
Well, the week's passed, right? What have we seen so far? What have we?
Oh yeah.
What have we noticed?
Mahomes is not doing so well this year.
I don't agree with that. I think Mahomes is still doing well. I mean, they're still what
They're
5-0?
winning, yes, but like stat wise, this is one of his worst
Oh yeah, but
statistical year.
Sure,
ever.
but stats don't win ball games.
no, he's
I-
6-6 for TDs and interceptions.
Sure.
He's Jameson Winston out there right now.
Oh, stop it. It's not that bad.
The dude went 30 for 30. He's 6 for 6 right now. He's on pace.
Yeah, fair. But I think that I really think Kansas City's a pretty strong team. Their game
With the help of the refs.
prove it. You got no proof that the refs are helping. That's just an anecdotal.
That's just a
nonsense.
thing because they win a lot.
Right.
They're calling it.
It's just
I think that
it's the opinion of the fans. I'm the voice of the people.
Now I want
the
to point
voice of the
out.
people.
I
Yeah.
want to point out with Seattle, right? We mentioned Seattle's great start, blah blah blah, but
then
they're
they get
3-3.
destroyed.
They're 3-3 since then because they played 3. Bo Nix was learning another not so good quarter, and then all of a sudden they start playing tough teams.
Yes.
And now they're falling.
Yep.
Another thing I want to throw out though, the Falcons.
Ooh, yeah.
Who would have thought this is where we would be with the Falcons?
Kirk Cousins.
I haven't watched any of their games, so I don't know how they're doing.
What, they've lost 1, maybe 2, but they're like up there.
Yeah. Do you like that meme I sent you earlier today? The Niners fans crying because they know that the Cowboys have more
3-2.
wins that they do.
3-2. The Falcons are 3-2.
Yep.
But the 2 they lost were close games.
Mm-hmm.
They were against good teams. They lost to the Dolphins when they had Tua,
Mm-hmm.
first game of the season, and then they lost to the Ravens 12-13. Then they played. Oh wait, that was this preseason. I mean, they lost to the Steelers, right? The first game, and that's when we're like, oh, maybe they're not that great, right? Then they came out and destroyed beat the Eagles 22-21. They lost to the Chiefs 22-17, but another close game that could have gone either way. And then they beat the Saints, and then they beat the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers look pretty good.
Bucks are looking good.
Yeah.
Carl said that Cedric Benson is his favorite Yankee. His favorite Yankee for him is Jeter. He also said that the Falcons is one of his teams for Super Bowl picks.
Yes.
One of his two
Kirk
early
Cousins
Super Bowl
broke
picks.
Matt Ryan's record at my Matt Ryan Day when he was getting part of the Ring of Honor for Atlanta.
Nice.
That I thought that was kind of ironic and pretty freaking cool. He
Yeah.
threw for 509 yards that game.
But here's
Damn, that's a ton of yards.
there's a couple teams that have shocked me. One being, I'll admit, the Jets. I mean, you think Rodgers comes in, you think they're gonna, hey, this is Rodgers.
Yeah.
You want my
And
honest
he
opinion?
is not the Rodgers of past.
You want my honest opinion? Rodgers is a coach killer. He's always been and he always will be.
No, I don't think that doesn't mean nothing about how they're doing. Rodgers is just not what the team needed.
So I thought it was interesting. I was watching a promo for the.
But yes, he is a coach killer.
Yeah, I was watching the promo for the
If
Jets
you don't
game
like
this
you,
weekend.
they're gonna get rid of you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was watching a promo
And
for
here's
the
a
Jets
rumor.
game this weekend, and
Guess who Salah was about to fire right before he got fired?
Well, yeah, but Hackett, by the way, is not even calling plays this week, so we can eliminate that. They're demoting him.
Yeah.
So if that was the case, he'd get this interim coach fired.
Yeah.
But what did you see for the
the promo they show Aaron Rodgers, right? And they like, oh, touchdown, Aaron Rodgers, blah blah blah, right? But has he even thrown a touchdown for the Jets yet?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's done like 2 or 3. 2?
Yeah, 2 years, 2 touchdowns, perfect. Just what you need.
I think he's thrown. I think he's like almost tied with picks and touchdowns almost this year. He's
Yeah.
already at like
He
4
looks
picks.
bad.
That's a good.
And
That's
so
that's
the
a bad
and
season to
so
Green Bay
Yeah.
for him.
And so if I watched this clip on TikTok, it was Chase Daniel in his opinions with James Jones and opinion on Aaron Rodgers, and I agree with it. Him calling Aaron Rodgers a coach killer, him being 4 or 5 games in with Robert Saleh gets fired, him being in Green Bay and getting Mike McCarthy getting fired, then having Matt LaFleur come in and Matt LaFleur having this whole new system coming in and having and Aaron Rodgers didn't like the system, so they had to rework the whole entire system just for Rodgers to like it, and they didn't do much with that system. But as soon as he leaves, look what they're doing with that system. That
Right,
Matt
with
LaFleur-
Jordan Love and Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
Now I agree he is a coach killer, but I don't agree that he's the reason that McCarthy got fired. Yes, it's one of them because they didn't get along. McCarthy's also been there how many years with Rodgers? And
Yeah,
they
it was time
only
for
won
McCarthy to
one
move
Super
on
Bowl.
anyway.
Yeah, I agree that.
So yeah, you're gonna go when your quarterback is still winning MVPs
yeah,
and still has like 4 interceptions a season. Yeah, you're gonna side with your quarterback.
Yeah.
right.
But now at the end of the season, you're gonna look at the quarterback and go next year. You say you bring in whatever Aaron Rodgers wants. Well, he's having a bad season. You're gonna look at Aaron Rodgers and go, it's you. We're not getting rid of the coach. That's
Right.
why they got rid of Rodgers before they got rid of the floor. They're like, we brought in a young guy.
Yeah, but
We're
they
not
pay,
going to get rid of him. We're going to get rid of you.
they
if
pay
if you have
quarterbacks a
problem.
lot more money than they pay coaches, so
Yeah.
it's a whole lot easier to get rid of a coach and carry that extra weight on
Right,
your.
but at the same
Right.
time, when you bring in a new guy like LaFleur,
Yeah.
and Rodgers isn't producing anymore as much as he has been,
Yeah,
and maybe had his worst touchdowns that or interceptions that year, then they look at him and go, "Well, we're going to get rid of you before the coach."
I really
because-
think that injury finished him.
Oh
Yeah.
I think he's done.
He's
I
not as
really think he needs
mobile.
to retire.
The thing is, he doesn't like to do off-season workouts and do this, and then that hurts because now you're coming into game one of the regular season,
Yeah.
where you should be doing preseason and
Yeah. And now you're
off-season
like
workouts,
showing
and
Ross
you're doing that during the game.
and
Right,
you're
right, right.
showing hiccups and it's like bumps along the road where you should be going smooth sailing. And
Right.
now you're sitting at like 2 and 3 or 3 and 2.
Right, and
your
I don't think
coach gets freaking
And
fired.
Zach Wilson's over here laughing over here as a backup in Denver about to be traded.
right, and I don't think that he and his other players have that same chemistry like he did in Green Bay. Those guys knew how to play with that,
See,
man.
and that's why I
Yeah.
wanted to bring up the NFL. They
Yeah.
mentioned it on that Jets game that him and Garrett Wilson are still trying to get on the same page.
Yeah.
Isn't that what the offseason's for?
Yes,
You-
that's
you
where
had
they should
one-
be getting
You
on the
should
same
have had
page.
one offseason the
Yep.
year you got hurt.
Yep.
And then you should have came back and you should have done all your pre-training and
Mhm.
all this stuff because you were injured. You should have had every single offseason workout during the offseason,
Yep.
during the preseason to get on page with your number one receiver.
Yeah,
He's the best receiver in New York.
but I think Rodgers was lulled into a sense of security in Green Bay where he didn't have to do that kind of stuff,
No.
and now that he does, he doesn't want to because he's like, I haven't done that in years. I'm now over 40. I'm look how much I'm getting paid. I'm going to do what I want,
Yeah.
You know what really
and
kills
it hurts
him?
the team. He doesn't want to be a
It-
team player.
He doesn't realize this. Where is he at?
He's in New York.
Where was he at?
Wasn't Green Bay.
Where do you think the most media is going to have the eyes on you?
New York.
So you get away with it in Green Bay, you're not going to get away with it in New York.
Nope.
As soon as you start crapping out, Jets fans, New York Giants fans, Mets, any team in New York wants you out.
Mhm.
And,
Well,
and
but-
the media will run
Right.
you up because
Mhm.
you can't get out of the limelight.
Yep.
You're always in front of cameras somewhere.
And
Yeah,
Always.
especially
Green Bay,
when
you
you're
can be
on
quiet.
TV
You can
or-
hide a little bit. The fans aren't going to run your neck because they are so loyal to the team until they get to the point of, okay, you need to go. Because they still burned Favre's jersey when he went to Minnesota. They didn't care when he went. But then he comes back on Favre Day or something in Green Bay after he retires. Oh, we love you, Favre. Because you just went to a rival, right? They're loyal. And even when they got rid of Favre to the Jets, they're like, well, we're not going to win the game because we got rid of Favre and we got Rodgers. Because they were loyal to Favre. And
Right.
they were loyal to Rodgers to the bitter
So
end.
what would New York Jets need to add to help Rodgers win?
A no line.
O-line would definitely
Fair
help.
enough.
Because again, you can polish a turd, it's still a turd, and that's what you did. You got a better quarterback, but no one to protect for him.
Right.
No,
He's still
dude,
gonna
Rodgers
have
has
to
a run
run.
for his life
Well,
and he's 40.
and
And you
that's
can't
Run with
do
an
that.
Achilles
Right.
injury at 40.
And that's what a lot of teams seem to do lately is they'll get a quarterback thinking that, okay, we
Trying
got
to
the
fix their
quarterback,
problem.
but we don't have anybody to protect him, or we got a protection, a line, but we don't have
Caleb
anybody to.
Williams.
Yeah, well,
Well,
see
the
about
thing
that.
is, if you wanted to get a quarterback to win you games, but yet not block for him, that's when you need to get a running quarterback who can actually run away
right.
because that's what you're going to need.
Yep.
Go
Yeah.
get Derrick Henry to throw the ball. He'll run it for you, okay?
Yeah, Rodgers 40. He can't run for crap, and you have him on one of the worst old lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
But we're pretty much still kind of figuring the same teams. We're still trying to figure out what the Eagles are. They're having
Yeah.
some wins. They
Hey.
have some losses.
My Broncos on a 3-game winning streak.
The Broncos are looking better than we thought. Only problem is you're in the division with the Chiefs, so it's still hard.
Hey, we got a first division matchup. We're going against the Chargers.
the Chiefs are going against the Chargers,
Broncos.
and that's a division.
Yeah, Chiefs and Chargers.
Chiefs, Chargers. Okay.
Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders,
Raiders,
and
Broncos.
Broncos.
Really?
Yeah.
Half of the West is in the central part of the United States?
Yeah.
That's dumb. Glad the NFL can figure that out. Anyway, that's why Dallas is in the East because they still can't figure that out either. But anyway, I'll digress.
Yeah, Broncos are
The
facing
only,
the Chargers.
the only real true
That's
is,
gonna be
like,
a true
the
test of
NFC
this
North.
offense.
They're all
Right.
in the Midwest North, right?
Right,
Which still
right.
could be NFC Central.
This is going to be a true test of like Bo Nix, the new Bo Nix in this new offense and this defense. I mean, yeah, we have a couple players that are out. Alex Singleton just had another season-ending injury.
Well, just think before the NFC West was the Cardinals, the Rams, who ended up moving to St. Louis.
Yep.
And but now that they're back in LA, at least it makes a little bit more sense.
Right.
Right.
So let me see. NFC East. I'm gonna go back to my team's division. What are your thoughts on the Commanders?
Way
Seriously.
better than
Way
we probably
better.
thought.
Yeah.
Only because, again, rookie quarterback,
Yep.
Rookie quarterback.
right? You didn't do much last year and this and that. It weren't that great. You just added a
Didn't
rookie
have a lot of
quarterback.
pieces, but they did
But
add
dude,
some.
He showed me the thing. RG3 numbers. And RG3 was great.
Yeah.
He got hurt. That's
If
not
he-
his problem.
Yep. If he hadn't got injured in the was the NFC Championship game?
I can't remember when he got hurt. But if he didn't have that
Yeah.
career-ending injury,
Yep.
pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, he
And-
was good.
He's a generational quarterback. Really was.
And that's what Daniels is. And what he's doing is he's Lamar, but better than Lamar came in, right? Because Lamar ran more than he did now.
And Jaden only runs when he has to.
And Jaden's showing you I'm accurate,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
He's easily my number one pick
And
right now.
not
for
a lot
rookie,
of people
rookie
know
of the
this. Like people know about his 2 years starting at LSU, but not a lot of people know about his other 2-3 years starting at Arizona State or Arizona, I believe.
Yeah, Carl went back to the Jets real quick. He said, "Can't run the football for the Jets. Rodgers is the problem moving forward. Now that Saleh got fired."
Yep.
And then he said, "LMAO Bill about divisions."
But no, I think the Commanders are going to win the division.
Yeah,
They're
I hate to say it, but I agree with you.
they're
Arizona State. He played for
they're better.
I mean, until
It's shocking how great they actually became because we all kind of like
yeah,
maybe one of the worst, tied with the Giants, and even the Giants had played better than we thought.
Yeah.
You took one receiver and all of a sudden Daniel Jones looks better,
right.
Yeah.
Well, half of the NFC
and you
East,
got rid of Saquon.
yeah, half the NFC East has been a
Thank
joke
you,
for
fantasy.
like 8 years, right? It's basically been Dallas and Philly going back and forth for the division for about the last
Still
8
no
years.
repeat.
Still no repeat
In like
winner.
15 years.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That is
and
absolutely
it's
ridiculous.
been between two for most of those
Yeah.
15 years.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's
And
just mind blowing.
yeah, it is. It's crazy. How it's possible, I don't know.
Still no repeat this year.
Yeah, no. I don't think
No.
Dallas will take it again.
Honestly, I
I
think
the Eagles will get it.
if Washington keeps doing what they're doing, I think they're going to be a good team in the East.
And we were talking about good teams Washington had, and it brings me back up to the Falcons.
Yeah.
Is Kirk Cousins underrated for what he was?
I
Look
think
what
he
he
is.
did, and he did what 3 straight years of 5,000 passing yards in Washington when they weren't good teams.
Oh, it was
yeah.
more than that, wasn't it? It was like 6 straight years at 5,000 yards
Oh,
because
But when he was in Washington, I think the last 3 years that he was put on,
put
on franchise,
and they
tags,
franchised him every year.
He got 5,000 plus in a team that was horrible.
Yep,
Oh,
he was
yeah.
just looking for a contract, and they didn't want to give it to him. It's like just give the man a contract.
So I think he's actually underrated than what he is.
Yeah.
Because people still look at, in prime time he sucks. This.
Yeah.
So Washington's had decent quarterbacks come through.
Yeah,
I guarantee you, my
Alex
Bears,
Smith would have been amazing if
my
they
friends
hadn't
that
had
are
that.
Bears fans wish they would have
if
some of
he
these damn
didn't snap
quarterbacks.
his leg and have.
Yeah, if he didn't have that weird injury.
Yeah, because he ended up going there after the Chiefs, right?
I mean, his current career stats is over 40,000 yards. This is Kirk Cousins. 278 touchdowns, 115 picks.
That's awesome.
I think
That's,
he's underrated.
those are major numbers.
I think he's underrated.
And he's,
yeah, but he's like 754 years
But he
old
gets
now.
injured
he's
a lot.
only 36 years old and he has 40,000 yards.
But he gets injured a lot.
He does get injured a
That's
lot.
why people probably throw
Yeah,
him underrated.
And
Right.
he from Michigan State, by the way. Michigan State quarterback.
Right.
Okay.
Do you think so we think
Green and white.
Washington, you think Philly?
I think Philly. Yeah, I think
Who do you
Philly's going to
think?
come.
For what?
They're gonna win the NFC East.
Washington.
Yeah, he's with Washington as well.
Do you think your Broncos are gonna make a late P for the division, or do you think Chiefs got locked up?
I think the Chiefs got locked up. I think
Only because they're 5-0 right now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to come back.
I don't
from
think
that.
we're gonna win the division. I think we might make a case for like a wild card
Yeah. And Carl, I think you're right. Based on what these guys said, Dan Quinn does make a good case for making Coach of the Year for
Yes.
Washington.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
I
Now,
mean,
who do you think your pick for right now? Right now, comeback player of the year.
Comeback Player of the Year.
Comeback
Sam
player.
Darnold.
That's what I have. We were talking
I
about
don't
somebody
know.
else
Yeah,
earlier.
we were talking about another quarterback. Who was it? Oh Lord, my
Sam
brain.
Darnold or Kirk Cousins.
No, it wasn't Kirk Cousins. It was. Oh God, I can't remember now.
To a team just for.
That's just it.
I can't
right?
remember who we
You
were
guys
talking
didn't talk about Darnold.
I know
so
I picked
Darnold's
Sam
in my
Darnold.
head. Yeah,
Because if as long as he's doing what he's doing,
yeah.
I think
Ezekiel Elliott.
Ew.
Ah,
Ew.
I think comeback player of the year could be Sam Darnold, or
Kirk Cousins.
could be Cousins.
I would have to see more out of Atlanta
But
before
did it-
that.
You had to see more out of Atlanta.
Didn't Saquon get hurt last year?
No. Saquon played healthy last year.
Well, he should get comeback player of the year because he played for the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They finally got off it.
that's
and
an
they
injury in
finally-
itself.
But who
And
would
they
have thought at the
finally
beginning of the
stopped
year we're talking?
franchise tagging them after
Yeah.
3 fucking
Well,
years.
Who would have thought though we're
I don't know
talking
why
about comeback player of the year? And the beginning of the year we talked about Rodgers and laughed at Darnold,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now it's Darnold we're laughing about Rodgers.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, again, they can't put anybody around Rodgers to help him. So he can't do it all on his own anymore. He's just too old,
Mhm.
and he's
5'5".
too injured. 5'5" now. All right, so let's see. Let's talk about picks Let's talk about everybody's picks.
Okay.
I don't think his game's not finished, and I don't think Florida Atlantic for Carl's finished.
Okay.
All my games have finished, and right now I'm 22-15.
Okay.
They
Jake
got
is
Colorado, Kansas State, right?
right, and they're not finished yet.
They never started.
Right. Jake's 19-17, and Carl's 17-19.
Carl, man, you
I'm
got to get it, man.
22-15.
22 and 15. How the fuck you get ahead of me?
Because
Mu-
I got all these games in the college that were just going up, and you're
Nice
losing
one,
the
Carl.
college games. That's
Yeah,
how
okay.
you get up.
Okay.
Carl says his
As long as I'm ahead
his
of
pick for-
Carl, I don't care.
comeback player of the year is Carl's is Malik Willis.
Malik,
Just kidding.
Malik will say he has a better chance than Rodgers. He's 2-0.
Yeah. I think yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Anyway, so picks.
So picks this week. We're gonna go with the Chicago Jaguars game first, right?
Yep.
So
Bears.
I picked the Bears. As much as I'm a Packer fan, I don't see Jacksonville winning this game.
Jacksonville's a dumpster fire.
Well, I
I'm
don't
picking
care.
the Bears.
You know what I'm picking? You know why I'm picking the Bears? The defense.
Yeah.
The defense is phenomenal.
Also,
Yeah.
have you seen what's going on in Jacksonville? It's not, they don't know what's going on half the time.
Okay, who did Carl pick?
You talking about for NFL?
Yeah.
He's got Cincinnati over New York Giants.
Oh, he didn't have the Chicago game?
No, he didn't have the Chicago game on here.
Carl, what's your Chicago pick?
Oh, he said Bears for me, guys.
Bears. Okay.
Yeah,
probably
he agrees with Darnold for comeback player of the year.
Okay, so he got the Bears. And he said he picked Cincinnati?
The Bears. Yep, Cincinnati.
Over
what's
who?
What's the Thursday game?
Thursday game is Denver, New Orleans.
Wait, we're on Cincinnati and
What's it?
Giants.
For Monday game?
That's Sunday night. Cincinnati
night.
Giants.
Okay.
It's a primetime game.
Which is, by the way, Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, MetLife. Monday Night Football,
Cincinnati.
MetLife.
Give me Cincinnati over the Giants. Because I think Cincinnati has a good offense. I think what I read in the articles I read, the defense had a defense only meeting with players only to figure stuff out. And hopefully they figure something out with their defense.
Here's how I picked, right? Again, hilarious that Monday night and Sunday night are both in MetLife.
MetLife, yeah.
I picked Cincinnati.
Huge.
They're one of my shocking teams
Mhm.
that have way underperformed. They're 1-4.
Right.
They're horrible. But you know what? There's got to be a time that the offense has figured it out, the defense has got to figure it out. Think this is the game.
And the offense has figured it out. It's just the defense has no
And I
idea,
think
can't
this
stop
is
a
when
nosebleed.
Cincinnati's defense finally starts coming to what they can be.
Yeah.
Who do you
I don't
think, Bill?
Me personally, I've got New York on that one.
The Giants?
Yeah, I got the Giants over Cincinnati.
All right, so now we got the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Number 2 in MetLife.
Yep.
Even Bills.
Going Buffalo. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's Carl got there?
Carl's got the Bills.
I'm
Buffalo over
sorry.
New York
I
Jets.
think Josh Allen and Buffalo's going to bounce back from that horrible loss from
Yeah.
Houston, and they're going to mollywop the Jets.
Mollywop. Write that one down, folks. Mollywop.
It's a slobber knocker.
Slobber knocker.
I'm picking Buffalo.
Yeah.
As we talked about earlier, Rodgers throwing these interceptions and stuff.
Yeah.
That Bills defense.
Yeah.
Let's just hope he doesn't tear another Achilles.
They're
But
gonna,
I
they're
think-
gonna chase him all over the damn field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think
his offense line can't stop a nosebleed.
we talked about how bad the Jets are. It'd be stupid to go, yeah, I'm going to go Jets. Unless
Yeah.
I want the points for underdog, and I
I'm
don't think
pretty
they qualify for the
sure-
underdog points.
No.
And
Tampon can be better than the offensive line.
I don't need 2 extra points yet, so I'm up
Yeah.
22-15. I'm definitely going Buffalo.
Right.
And then you got Denver, New Orleans. I'm going Denver.
Denver.
I'm going Denver solely on the purpose Spencer Rattler starting.
Yeah. The fact that Derek Carr's out, it's got to be Denver.
Wait, since
Derek Carr's out.
Is New Orleans playing this week?
Yeah.
Sunday, tomorrow? He's also
Probably.
Yes.
and he's starting Thursday. as
Yeah,
well.
he's not. They're not gonna put Derek Carr in on Thursday.
Okay, fair enough.
They're gonna take him out for both games.
Okay. So yeah, I know for sure Spencer's starting tomorrow.
Right. And I'm pretty sure he's going Thursday. I'm going
Okay.
Denver.
Yeah, I'm going with Denver.
Denver as well. So
yeah,
is Carl.
I think Bo Nix and them have figured out something. Sean Payton's a good coach.
Yeah.
As long as he has a good,
I think
as long as you
what
don't have Russell
finally
Wilson as your
worked for
quarterback.
Denver is that they finally said, hey, they went through 2 games like, hey, we questioned the offense, we worked the offense to where Bo Nixon actually used the offense to his advantage. And I think one thing we need is pass catchers.
Right. And you guys will get them.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're doing college football games.
Okay.
And again, guys, this is the last week we're doing college football like this.
Yeah. All right. So, Carl, I'll give Carl's teams real quick. There's a Harvard and Holy Cross are playing, and Carl has chosen Harvard.
Oh, not Holy Cross?
No.
Hold up there, midget.
yeah.
That's exactly why he picked Harvard. I swear he only picked it for that clip.
For that clip, yeah. He's got LSU over Arkansas.
Arkansas.
And Clemson over Virginia.
I was going to say that.
I'm only calling it as I read it, Carl.
Also known as Virginia.
All right,
yeah.
I'll go next.
Clearwater. Blackwater.
I got my first game is Nebraska and Indiana. Yes, Nebraska has surprised everyone and played decent this year, but so has Indiana, and I'm gonna go with Indiana. I'm gonna go with the Hoosiers.
No longer just a basketball school.
Yes.
In fact, the Hoosiers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't think they've been a basketball school for a while either.
No.
they haven't.
Then I got UCF and Iowa State, and UCF has been decent this year,
Did you
but
say Yusuf?
UCF.
Oh, they said Yusuf. I was like, all right, Yusuf.
That's a Muslim football player, Yusuf.
And Iowa State has shocked everybody with how good they've been playing this year and how well the team has gelled and played. And I'm going with the Cyclones just because how good they've been playing.
All right.
And
Go Iowa State.
going with, and then my last game is Alabama and Tennessee. And I'm going with Tennessee because of based on how Alabama's been playing the last couple weeks and how Tennessee's been starting off this year. I'm going with Tennessee, and I think Tennessee's gonna win.
I can follow.
You should have done a nice little a swerve there, like I'm gonna go with roll. Never mind. Good old Rocky Top.
Yeah. Roll Rocky Top. I'm going Rocky Top.
It's just how it is. Like Alabama's not been playing like they have.
No, it's a solid reason, man. Absolutely. No, he was
all-
just talking about his, his Pat McAfee love affair over there.
My Pat
his
McAfee
stiffy
love
for
affair.
Pack.
Yeah.
My Pat
His little
McAfee
stiffy.
Yeah,
love
yeah.
affair
Carl
might
says-
come out my picks.
His little
Yeah.
man boner for
Carl
Pat
says
McAfee.
UFC at Iowa State.
UFC.
UFC at Iowa State. Yeah. Good one, Carl. We love it. He also said wasn't a horrible win or wasn't a horrible loss for the Bills, Jake. He said it went to OT with the whatever that says. With the Texans. Went to OT with the Texans.
Yeah, but it wasn't a horrible loss. But I mean,
It's still a
Josh
game they
Allen
probably
played like
shouldn't have.
dog water.
It's still probably not a game they should have lost.
Yeah, no.
Who?
Buffalo
Buffalo
to Texas. Or the Texans.
141 left to go in the third period. 5-5 still.
All right.
That's a high score.
All right, so now we're
Yeah, it
going
is.
to my
Baseball
games.
scores.
Yes, it is.
I had some good games. I had really good picks.
This is a really good game minus Harvard and Holy Cross.
So South
Yeah.
South
I wonder who picked that game.
I had South Carolina versus Oklahoma.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm going South Carolina.
Yeah.
They have showed me enough that they can stay in. And Oklahoma showed me nothing today. No life, no nothing. Oklahoma, welcome to SEC football with a freshman quarterback. Without your receivers. I don't know if any of them are coming back, but
Yeah.
10-10 Florida, Tennessee.
They were down 10-0.
My next one, Michigan and Illinois. I know Illinois has been playing
Wait,
great.
Graham Mertz is still a quarterback? Damn.
Yeah, he's been in college for like 10 years. I remember 6 years ago, and when I was in North Carolina, he dropped the damn crystal ball after he won the Duke's Mayo Bowl. And he's been having fumble problems ever since. That was the trophy. He was dancing and dropped. I'm like, that's not a good sign. Then he
Did it
started
break?
having turnovers. Huh?
Did it break?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's shattered.
It was like the national championship trophy that they dropped in Alabama that one time.
Did it shatter to
Yes.
pieces? Yes. This one shattered. It was crystal. Dude's dancing with it and it falls. I'm like, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
Next year, turnovers galore. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah,
They
that's
need
not
They
a
were-
transferred out that following
so-
year.
They were having a some kind of alumni thing at Alabama, and they had all their national championship trophies up on these little pillars, and one of the old players, they were messing around and they bumped it, and it knocked. I think it was the one from like 2007 or something like that, or some nonsense, and it fell on the ground and exploded.
By the
So-
way, overtime.
OT.
OT for the Rangers and the Utah Hockey Club.
Nice. All right.
So Michigan, Illinois, go
Yep.
blue. I got Michigan.
Go
I think they're gonna pull off not a comeback, but they're gonna pull off not an upset, but they're gonna kind of like level Illinois out, right?
So is Illinois for real then?
I think Illinois is for real a contender, but the problem is you got to go through Alabama or Ohio State, Michigan, and they got to lose. I don't think they can top Michigan just yet.
Right. Okay.
All right, and then my last game, Texas and Georgia.
We'll see where you're sleeping tomorrow.
Who's that coming down the track? Yeah, screw that. I'm not doing the whole thing. Go hook 'em horns. Look, Texas showed me today. They're up there. 28 Ohio State, 22 Oregon. But yeah, I wasn't gonna sing the whole thing. We don't have 3 minutes for me to sing it. But
No.
who's coming down the line? UT's coming down the line. They're gonna hook the Bulldogs.
Yep.
I got Texas winning that one. It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
But I think Texas takes it. They're showing me that look, who's the quarterback? Doesn't matter. All right, the Rock said it back. It doesn't matter who our quarterback is because they can win with both.
Right.
Yeah.
My concern is that Oklahoma exposed their offensive line a little bit in the first quarter. And so if Georgia can follow that logic or follow what they did, then Texas may have a problem with them.
Yeah.
Because
But
their defense, Georgia has a very good defense this year.
yes.
But
But
if
I think
everyone-
if Steve Sarkisian is smart, I think he
Yep.
might be able to see that and fix it right away.
I can follow that logic as well. Yep.
Nothing finer in the land than a drunk Texas fan. We're gonna change the lyrics to this. Instead of go dogs, go horns,
Yep.
go horns.
Yep.
But yeah, those are our picks. We can touch on fantasy football a little bit, or you guys want to go to the cold take?
We'll go ahead and go to the cold take.
We've
We've been rolling for 2 hours, fellas.
Okay, fair enough.
He wanted us to go over his team. Okay, Jake's got a good team. The end.
Yep.
Saquon Barkley is this guy.
Hey, I got Brock Purdy.
Hey, did you see one of our teams is on auto now and they dropped P Mahomes and bear down at Patrick Mahomes.
They dropped him.
Yeah.
The auto,
The auto
dropped the quarterback because both their quarterbacks were on bye. So it dropped him and picked up Trevor Lawrence because that was a good pick. And Mahomes went on the waiver wire and no one noticed it because I didn't know it would
But
drop.
the one that's always on the waiver wire noticed it.
Yeah, he picked him up.
Yep.
And guess what?
Good
Now,
for
if
him.
if anyone's watching that's doing our fantasy league, first of all, if you want Pat Mahomes back, you got to trade your running back. one of your good running backs, probably Christian McCaffrey for when he comes back. Who knows?
McCaffrey's not going to do anything when he.
If
comes
you're
back.
watching, if you're not on, that's why you're on auto. Anyone else for the league wants to watch it, they can go to Bear Down, and he's looking for a good running back. So go ahead and make a trade. All right, cold take.
All right, cold take. Here we go. All right, daylight savings or standard time? Which do you prefer and why?
I just prefer we don't change back times anymore from right now.
Yeah.
I don't care if we go forward or backwards one more time.
So
Let's keep it.
So currently we're in daylight savings. So you prefer daylight savings time?
I prefer whatever we don't change anymore. So if we're in daylight now, cool, make it current. If we were in current, you make it current. I'm just tired of the clock changing.
You know that fallback they said it's fallback is the most dangerous when we switch times is the most dangerous time of the year because more people have accidents because they're tired because the change of time and their body's not used to it.
Because you fall back an hour.
Yep.
And you get an extra hour of sleep. Or
maybe it's the other way around.
Or
Then. Maybe
you
it's
work
when
an
we
extra hour.
Maybe yeah.
Because if you work overnight, you work an extra hour.
Right.
Because you go from 2 back to 1.
Right.
But you get paid the extra hour. I
You
used
do.
to work it. Question is though, bars close at 2. Once it hits 2, it goes back to 1. Do they still get to drink an extra hour? I've never been in a bar at that time.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a bar. I don't know where in Sioux City. Maybe I have to go to Omaha for this one. But when it goes from 2 to 1, do they close or do they stay open? Because legally they can stay open because now it's 1 o'clock.
Right. I don't know. It's a good question.
Tennessee took the lead, 17-10.
Damn it. Come on, Florida.
Go Tennessee.
Anyway, so yeah,
Go
so
Showdown.
I personally
Go
prefer
Rocket Top.
I like standard time personally. And the reason I like standard time is because it the sun comes up a little bit later. I get to sleep in a little more and it stays light a little bit longer.
Right.
That's what I like. So anyway,
I also like
thoughts.
this time because it's also fall time.
Yeah.
And we all know up here at least
Mhm.
Halloween's one of my favorite times with horror movies and everything.
Yes,
By the way,
'cause
I'm
you
gonna
saw
plug
one of the goriest horror movies
Terrifier 3.
Oh Lord.
Great movie. By the way, shout out Chris Jericho was great in that movie. Dying.
Apparently it's a comedy, y'all.
I was laughing and I wasn't the only one, so at least I know I'm not the only psychopathic person in Sioux City.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Sioux City is all full of psychopaths.
Not much to talk about there.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Gotta love your scary
I
movies.
love horror movies. I love, fall weather, apple
Right.
cider donuts. You got apple ciders. Go out, have a campfire, s'mores. Love going to haunted houses, which we need to go to one.
We got the Axe Murder House.
No, not one of those haunted houses. The ones where they jump and play.
There's one in Omaha that we saw coming
There's
back
a
from the
local
hospital
one.
last
Scary
time.
Acres.
Is that what it is?
There's
I
a
don't know.
local one in Shaler that happens every year.
Shaler, nice.
Yeah,
They have a haunted haunted corn maze at all?
See, those
yeah,
are fun.
That'd be cool.
yeah, I think so.
I don't jump in those anymore, by the way.
Yeah.
Haunted houses or anything, I just don't jump.
Look,
I
man,
kinda guess what
you grew
happens.
up on Chucky at like 4 years old, so no duh.
I was wondering why my dog doesn't do it. But yet, you
I
tell your
grew up
daughter
on
the song and she
Jason and
screams her head
Freddy at
off.
8. I grew up on Jason and Freddy at 8 years old.
Yeah.
I was like 3 watching Chucky.
So
I put the tape in. My mom didn't like that I watched it,
Yeah.
but I put the tape in.
and if y'all didn't notice, he said tape, which means VHS, so he's old. Just saying. Not as old as me, of course, but
Yeah.
Hey, I'm the only one here that social security number begins with a 5.
mine starts with a 4, so what?
My starts is a 3.
It's
But-
not how it works, man.
That's not that number. I think there's another number based on your age, but it's not the first one.
None of them are based on your age. They're all random.
I thought one was like the region or something.
That's the first one. The first 3 digits is based on the city and the state that you're born in. I think it has to do with your
a lot
FEMA.
of them are still 337 that
Yeah.
was born years before me.
Right.
So when I died, did someone else get my social then?
No.
Okay, so they do random different ones. Got it. All right, well, that is it for today.
All right, y'all. Thank you.
Next week, Carl will be back, and Mr. Google will be right back on his lovely spot behind the camera. We might have new microphone stands. I did make a purchase that will fit these a little bit better, so we'll kind of all be uniformity.
Yeah.
Why not? I think you like the ones with the held up by zip ties.
I don't think they can see that. Oh, you can.
I'm the one that had to put a new zip tie on it.
So, but yeah, everyone, you guys have a great and safe weekend. Go see some haunted houses. Go see Terrifier 3.
Remember, double click.
And Halloween's coming up soon, so make sure you take all the kiddos. Go get trick or treat, trunk or treat. Be safe though.
Yeah, be safe coming up on Halloween. Quick shout out B&L Creative Designs.com. We make cutting boards and all kinds of other fun wood stuff, and we do anything with acrylic. L is starting to work on making t-shirts as well.
Which by the way, next week we will have
next week we'll have
podcast
some shows.
t-shirts
Yep.
for us three.
Yep.
If you like what you see for the podcast and want our faces on your shirt, you can order them as well. We won't get any of the proceeds. We're gonna set the price to basically whatever they set the price to. So B&L will get all the money. But that's kind of reimbursing them for what they have spent on the podcast.
Sponsorship, y'all. Sponsorship.
Sponsorship.
Anyway,
Capitalism at the greatest.
yeah. Hey, also, not only that, but go into the comments. If you've got any recommendations for the show, please let us know, right? We are a show based around sports, and we do some life stuff as well. So please just throw down some comments that of ways you think we can improve. Or if you like what we're doing, throw us a thumbs up in the comments. We really appreciate that. We look at every comment. We also respond to all the comments. So you can talk to us either via the comments on this video, or you can get us on Facebook at 3 Morons Pod.
Spelled the same way. Also, if we get to 100 subscribers before Halloween, we will try to do. I don't know if we can get a house now. One of the haunted houses in America.
They will try to do a haunted house.
Me,
Mr. Google will not.
me, and when I don't mean a haunted house, like go through, get jump scare. What I'm talking about is if we can get 100 subscribers before Halloween, we will go to a cemetery and do a Ouija board.
Bad plan. Bad
I
plan.
would do a
Hey,
house
the Ouija
like the
board's in
Axe
my
Murder
Amazon
House.
cart.
I would
The
do.
Ouija board's in my Amazon cart.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
would do an Axe Murder House. I would do an Axe Murder House, but I don't think we can get them in
I don't
time.
I
think
don't think
Ouija
you're gonna
boards
get it.
and phones are allowed at the expert house.
Okay, well,
Velisca.
I know where
Huh?
Ouija boards are
Velisca
not
Murder
allowed.
House?
I know where Ouija boards are not allowed.
My house.
Here, in this
Yeah.
place, right
Hell
here.
no. Hell no, they're not allowed.
I'll
Um,
do one in your driveway. Quick.
no.
But again, I've never
I don't-
experienced the supernatural, so I'm a little skeptic. But I am very Catholic, so I will make sure I bring my rosary and my holy water.
And
I'll
invite
do it
the
in
priest.
your driveway.
Invite your priest.
God will be with me.
You just see me. You walk in. You walk.
I
out
don't
your
think the
driveway,
priest
you
will
see
come with
the
me.
Yeah. There's like blood drumming out of my driveway. No, thank you.
Yeah.
All right,
Red
Craig, got
rum.
anything? Or Jake, got anything?
No, I'm good.
But like and subscribe. You guys have a wonderful day.
We love you, Moronics.